All right, you good?
Mm-hmm. I hit the button. Looks like things are loading.
Does that mean we're live?
We should be live. And I have it on the other screen already because I'm dumb. Let me take it back. It's getting ahead of ourselves. There we go. Now it's just you and me. Intro.
Hey.
That's what we do at the start of the show. And this is show number 26. And yeah, there's nothing crazy, I guess, with the number 26 that we could reference. You can use a rental car. Is that when you can start? Is it 25 for rental car?
I think that's 25. Yeah.
Dang, we missed it last week.
Car.
No, but episode
26?
26. There's a kind of a drought in Druid content here, so we're steering a little bit away from Druid only talk tonight on this episode and branching off into some tinfoil hat theories, some speculation, some things, just discussions to have fun and say, like, hey, if we were on the WoW team, what would we want for Classic right now? So, I got a special guest joining later. Go ahead.
I do have one thing for Feral that I think is actually pretty interesting.
Ooh.
But I'll save it for later. So go ahead.
Nice. I know you guys are still probably tweaking some stuff, right? Like figuring out your rotation.
Well, it's a weak aura that everybody's wanted that someone finally figured out how to make it work. Yeah. So I'll be talking about that.
Nice. And so we've got like 30 minutes to chill here, talk just Grif and I, and then we got a guest coming in to talk with the main points of discussion. Mystery guest. Are we not
saying the name of the guest?
You'll never guess. Okay. They'll never guess who it is. Like, it's impossible to find out. I haven't leaked it at all.
Is it in the title?
Okay. No. I thought about tagging him, but tagging
or
them.
Her.
Yeah, tagging
her.
them.
Yeah,
because we don't know who it is.
Because
we
of
actually
all the
don't
female
know.
Guests we've had on.
The production team's actually gonna invite them on and add them to the call. So Grif and I don't even know who it is.
Yeah.
It's
the
crazy.
Production handles all this. Our writing staff is actually they're not rioting. They're on strike right now because they're part of the SAG union, so you know how that goes. So hopefully they'll be back next week, but for now we're just gonna push through without the writers. But luckily the producers have really stepped up.
He's kind of a Druid GT, kind of, sometimes, occasionally. For about a week or two after the Feral change, he was a Druid again.
Part-time Druid.
Now he's a hunter, so we don't know who he is, what he's doing.
Is he really? Did he go hunter? That's so funny.
Yeah.
I saw that. Actually, I saw that. Okay, yeah.
And nobody still knows who it is because we're being super secretive.
Because you didn't give enough hints.
Yeah.
All
right. You and I are both kind of like in this weird spot where there's not much stuff to make videos on, like, and we don't really milk content. Like, we don't really just throw videos out there. So no videos this week for us to go over. Yeah, we could. I've thought about it. It's like some more phase 3 gearing stuff, like just little tiny things, but I'm just like, What were you thinking about, Megan?
Yeah.
You must have froze there. You came back. It was like when you lag in game and then all of a sudden, like, it goes speed, like warp speed, and catches everything up.
Well, no. So what I was gonna say is it's not even milking it. Like, there's just nothing. We're in such a standstill, not just Druid wise, but like the phase 3 should be here, and it's not. So everyone's kind of just like, okay, well, I guess I'll check out 10.1, even though nobody did. But
yeah,
if you guys don't know, the retail 10.1 dropped, I think today, right? Today.
So they get their dungeons. Did they get a new raid too?
Yeah, I think they get, like, it's a phase, so like they get all that stuff. I don't know what it is. I was reading through video titles on it, and it sounds exciting. I don't know. A lot of balancing going on in 10.1 because I guess there were some problems.
Sweet. I was re-listening to the dev interviews that Scotty J and Mr. GM did, and Blaze and Bob did today. Kind of like in prep for the show. since we're going to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that they asked the devs back then. And this was like 7 months ago that these dev interviews were out. But yeah, it'd be nice to get another one of those from the devs. I know people were talking about it in the Druid Discord today. Like, we don't need it. We know what's coming. It's phase 3, and it's talk. Like, we don't need to have a dev interview. And it's like, well, it'd still be kind of nice to know what's coming.
No, that's just wrong, though. That's just 100% wrong. Like, we don't know. I mean, like, Scotty J has talked about it in many of his videos where, like, we have an idea, but because they made announcements earlier this year.
You lagging a bit again?
Oh, can you not hear me? Is it me?
You said earlier this year, and then it.
Yeah, they made an announcement about what do you call it? Like how they're gonna handle phase 3, and it kind of breaks everything. So yeah, I think we do need a dev. I think we do need a dev conversation.
I agree. I want one. I don't want to do it. I would.
Nobody wants to.
If Blizz reached out to me after the show today and they were like, "Yo, like we'd love to have you on for a developer interview," I'd be like, yeah. Oh, okay." I'd freak out.
I would do what Scotty J did, and I would. I mean, I think actually not just Scotty J. I've actually watched a couple of dev. Oh my God, stop. A couple dev interviews where whoever does it pools their audience and says, "Hey, what are some questions you want to know?" And I think that's like a good start, but like you still need to have like a good kind of idea of like what the most important ones are. Because if you're just like throwing out junk out there, but there are some really good questions with TOGC I'd love to have answered. Now with 10.1 live, does that mean the devs are going to actually have free time to talk to us? Because I'm not convinced there isn't some overlap at this point where like they said like, oh, the dev team for WoW Classic is separate. I don't know, man. It feels like it's like one team at this point.
Yeah, and then there's just so many questions that everybody's been coming up with that we need answers to. Like it's the phase is unknown, and the future of Wrath Classic is unknown. But one thing that they did say in that interview was they were thinking like a 1.5 year time frame, and we're how many months in? 8 months in? Out of that 1.5 years?
October, November, December. Yeah, we're on the 8th month.
So we've still got like 10 months left potentially of Wrath. So it's like, how long should the next 2 phases really be? Like, how long should talk be if ICC is going to be 7 months? 6 months?
Well,
we get a month of pre-patch. So like ICC 6 months.
You've got everybody forgets about Ruby Sanctum.
Like,
what's going on with Ruby Sanctum?
They mentioned that it wasn't going to be its own phase. But that's all he really said.
So is it going to be grouped with ICC? Is it going to trickle out halfway through ICC?
That'd be cool. I think that's what Scotty wanted. That he had talked about.
But regardless, you make a really good point that like they have at least 8 months of content they've got to stretch.
Yeah.
And between TOGC and ICC, that's not 10 months of content, or 8 months, or even 6 months if you ask me. But I guess they're gonna milk. I bet they milk ICC, like they put it out and just like, okay, guys, you've got ICC for 6 months. I mean, that's gonna suck.
Everyone's saying that talk should be a short phase. Yeah, short phase. I'm wondering if it's gonna be a longer phase, like another 3 months. Like people are saying, like hopefully it's 2 months. What if it's another 4 months of talk?
Okay, here's the man. Okay, if you are an average guild, you're clearing talk in 45 minutes. If you're a good guild, you're doing it in 30. How is just talk gonna hold up for 6 months?
I'm just thinking because 6 months. Whew, I'm thinking 4.
I mean, yeah, 4 months. Like, think about it. You can't play regular and heroic, so you only have the 10 and the 25 man. If they left it back to what they originally had it, where you could run 4, at least it could take up like let's say you've got Thursday or Tuesday night, you could run regular and then follow it up with heroic, or heroic followed up with regular, and then Thursday would be Ulduar with anybody who wants to bring catch up, to get catch up gear on Ulduar. If you don't have that, then you're running Tuesday for 45 minutes, and then you're doing Ulduar for the rest, and then you're raiding 1 day a week. which maybe people are happy about, but
I mean, I'm just thinking
that's
that
kind of what we're doing now.
a lot of people haven't done all the hard modes. They haven't got Yogg 0. So like once Talk comes out, they'll have access to higher eye level gear in a different place other than just Ulduar. So then like they can continue to do Ulduar, get some higher eye level gear, start in Talk, get even more higher eye level gear, and then they'll have enough time to finish clearing Ulduar and get as far into Talk as they can to prep for ICC.
Yeah, I think
don't know.
I think now's the time to do an alt run, like to level an alt or like a new main, because you're gonna have so much time to catch up. Like right now,
Yeah.
like you can get pretty well Ulduar geared and going into ice or going into Talk with like not necessarily the best. Sorry, I gotta take this ball away from my dog. Not necessarily the best gear, but like then when ICC comes out, you're in BIS gear running just Talk for 30 minutes, and you're gonna see so many guilds running off raids of Talk because what else are you gonna do with your free time? Like,
Yeah.
you can run Ulduar 10, Ulduar 25, but like chances are you'd rather just run a regular Talk 25 man just to get the bigger upgrades than Ulduar.
Yeah. We can talk a little bit more
months.
about that later on. Yeah. But I just
Sorry.
forgot that we've got like 18-ish minutes here to get the one poll that the two of us combined had together this week. We can talk about that really quick.
Gotta be yours. This is deja vu right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you buy a level 70 boost in Wrath Classic?
I did.
I bought one and I didn't even play it. The tune that I boosted.
I just used it.
It's still
I just
70.
used it last week. Yeah.
But almost 60% said that they did. Like 55% said yeah, and then 4% said that they have on multiple accounts. So like you have an EU and an NA account, maybe you had a boost on both or something. And then
some people just have multiple accounts on NA so they can easily transfer gold and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And then
plus they've got their like bank account so that if it gets banned, they don't get their real account banned.
Oh yeah, yeah. They get gold. They buy gold on their alt account and trade it to their main.
Yeah.
But yeah, only 40% said no that they haven't. I thought a lot more would have.
I don't know. I think it kind of like goes hand in hand. Like, okay, I'm gonna play this expansion. I might as well get the free thing. And I think that's interesting because I mean, not to like spoil what we're talking about today, but like I think the generation that's still playing WoW Classic is more comfortable spending extra income on things as long as they don't completely break the game or trivialize the game. I know a lot of people buy gold, but I think in classic WoW, people were very hesitant to like allow in some of these. But I think now people are like, yeah, bring in the WoW tokens, bring in the, like anything I can buy. I would love some more mounts. I think it's one of the things that's lacking in classic Wrath is like it'd be cool, and it wouldn't even be buy mounts. Like I'd love like the pug to come back. Do you guys remember the pug?
Oh yeah, yeah, the little perky pug.
I'm talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would love it. I would love a pug. No cata.
Yeah, no cata, no cata. Not for me. I don't know what I would do if it was cata. I'd probably play it, but I don't. After playing a little bit on that private server, I didn't really get a vibe.
It's a different game though.
Yeah,
private
servers
are
totally
different than. Well, just private servers in general is different.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it feels clunky and stuff, and that's because it's on a private server and they had to kind of guess their way through it. But yeah.
So that was the only poll. Moving right along into what have we been doing in WoW this week? You want to start? You want me to go?
I'll go because mine's gonna be short and sweet.
Nice.
So I have now two. If you guys don't know, I have two level 80 ferals now. I started a third one. He's a level 70. I think just still 70. I've been just been kind of like, or it's a girl, but I've been taking my time. I'm hoping to have three ferals in time for ICC, especially if they don't nerf us. I'm definitely gonna have a good time with ferals. And then I've been raiding. Still don't have Dreambinder. still don't have Dream. We sold Mimiron's head for like 100,000 gold this week, which is nuts that people are willing to pay that. But yeah, absolutely insane. I don't think I've taken a piece of loot in at least 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not dropping for one. Like not even actually that's just it. It's just, I'm getting no drops. Like there's like one drop where like 5 people are competing for it and it's the first drop you've seen since like, and you're like you want to be mad about it, but at the same time like they're literally in the same boat as you. Like they've been waiting for that drop to happen too. So yeah, no loot. I didn't take a Mimiron's head. Um, what kind of idiot takes the Mimiron's head? God, it's so embarrassing. If I were one of those people that has a Mim head, oh my God, I would just never. I would bury it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think it's embarrassing, Go?
Yeah, so last night I rolled an 88 and I beat like 10 other raiders and I got the Mims head and I was super stoked about it, dude. First thing I did, I went to Dalaran and I flew above the well because I was just I was so excited. But I had to find a keybind for like a mount to put it on because it's always Swift flight form. So I had to I had to go into the mount tab and click it. Yeah.
And like set up a special one just to like remind people who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is one of the cooler. I was teasing because I knew he got it, but like it is one of the cooler looking ones. Especially in Wrath, especially if you don't like dragons, because like everything's a drake or a dragon or something like that. And Mim's head, the Valentine's one. There's only a couple that are like, oh, cool. Like I would take Headless Horseman over Mim's head though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I've still been doing mount runs, and I still have not gotten a single mount to drop. Doing Midnight, ZG, Anzu, Magister's Terrace, Strathholm, nothing. Nothing is dropping.
That sucks, man.
Yeah. Anything else you've been up to?
You can't feel too bad because you've got Mim's head.
Yeah. It'd be cooler if it was account bound and I could fly around on all my ults as I was leveling. Like going through like Borean Tundra with the Mims head, yeah.
Well, I think in Kata they made all flying mounts work on land. So like even if you couldn't fly in that zone, you could still ride the mount. You just couldn't fly, couldn't take off. So you could essentially at level 20 ride around at Mims head, leveling your alts. That'd be pretty cool.
But yeah, I'm kind of like you. Yeah, I didn't get loot this week. I don't think I got loot last week.
Didn't you get a staff last week?
I don't know if that's been if it's been 2 weeks since I got the staff. Like 2 weeks without getting loot after I got the staff, because I did get the staff and I got a different cloak. I think the same run. So like, I mean, I'm back up for the flare, which is nice, and I think it's only flare and like one other piece that I might get before the next phase.
I think we had flare last night.
We had there's a leather chest, and it was the first time that has dropped from Vezex for us. I know our Resto Druid wanted it. Yeah, the Vestments of the Blind Denizen.
Mm-hmm.
Our very first one. And like even before the raid, some people were looking up like, like this item hasn't even dropped for us yet. And there was like 8-10 items that like we've just never even seen yet.
Yeah, we have a lot of pieces we just haven't seen. Like, we haven't seen the leggings of the cunning whatever. We haven't seen whatever the chest is that's feral. I'm actually learning the names of them. But like there's just so many pieces I need.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the belts off of Yogg. The cinch. I saw oh man, actually I do have a story about. So I ran a GDKP with my old guild last week. Because I was just gonna buy any items. Like I was like, you know what, I'll just run GDKP. So I ran it. Finally, we go to Elgalan. Dark Matter drops. That's the one I wanted. I was like, okay, I'm ready to buy. I think I brought like 20,000 gold. I did not bring enough gold to buy anything. It went for 60k. It went for 60k. I now am up to 30 something gold that I will take to my next GDKP. But it's really disappointing because it's a 10-man piece, and I'm like, that was the first time I even saw it, and then I lost it for.
We had
Young Owl Beast Gentleman. This is myself.
It's mating call. That's the after show, Medina.
Yeah.
And Grif
We charge extra for the mating calls.
Grif usually hosts the mating call session streams.
Mm-hmm.
But I
don't have the soundboard up.
I had my GDKP over the weekend, and I finally got some fragments. I had been on like a really slow start with the frag drops. I had like 1 the first week, 2 the second, 1 the third, and then I got 5 this week. So now I'm up to 9. I put 11 in our little notes. I don't know why I put 11. It should be 9. 4 plus 5, 9. Yeah.
So you're almost it's 30, right? So you're like almost a third of the way there.
Yeah, 9 out of 30
yeah,
frags.
Like there's gonna be so many Valinars. Valinair?
Valinair.
Valinair? I don't know how to say it.
Valinai.
But yeah, there's gonna be so many. We're just like handing them out. I can't remember, somebody new got it. They're like, oh cool, I got some shards. Because like we got all the paladins have them already. So like now we're just like shaman and priests and whoever else wants them.
I think our second one from the main raid is maybe like halfway done now. We didn't really see any last night in the main raid. We might have gotten 2.
Yeah.
It's been kind of slow sometimes.
We had a bunch. So our goal last night was we wanted to do a sub 2 hour full clear. We wiped on Vesix because our raid leader pulled threat. No, did he? Yeah, he pulled threat, but he shattered. But once he had pulled threat, all the other casters were now within melee range, and they started pulling threat, and it became this like we wiped, and then we wiped on Yogg because somebody left the brain room early. I don't think it was me, but I saw someone go, and I was like, oh okay, and I bounced right after them. And they're like, oh, it's bugged. Because if you try to leave it early, it'll just lock out and it won't let you keep cycling. So if you've never done that before, wait until it actually it hits below 30% and he does his emote. So yeah, we had to do those. So we did it in 2 minutes and like I think 2 hours and 10 minutes. So not the fastest, but also like good enough that because here's a discussion because you run 2 raids right now. If you're running a raid 1 and a raid 2, raid 1 on Tuesday, raid 1 on Tuesday, raid 2 on Thursday, and you know TOGC is coming out, do you run raid 1 Tuesday followed by raid 2 on Tuesday for TOGC because it's fast and short enough, and then you save Thursday for anybody that wants to go to Ulduar, you can form a 25-man and run that? Or do you do a raid 1 Tuesday TOGC followed by Ulduar, and a raid 2 Thursday followed by Ulduar? Like, how many people need Ulduar gear? Everybody?
Probably.
Yeah.
Like I'd still want to do, like, I'm always in the mindset that I want to do the older phase tier first before I do the new tier.
Wow.
So it's like when Ulduar came out, I wanted to do a Nax before I went into Ulduar on that release week. You know what I mean?
Come?
To have one last chance to get like the whole raid, a couple extra eye levels.
Well,
from, like, new gear.
The way that the releases work, you should be able to do a Tuesday, your current raid, and then Thursday, when the release actually hits in the US, you would then jump in and do, like the new content. So it usually would work like that. But I don't know. I just want new gear. But because I've had such bad luck with Ulduar, I'm like just ready for TOGC gear because like I don't know, it's not dropping, so I don't know what else to do. Every time we kill Freya, I just like come on and then nothing. And then we did Elgalon last because we paid someone else bought an Elgalon kill, and so we did Elgalon and Yogg 0 last. And I was like, come on, just drop Dreambinder, just that's it, that's all you want. Nothing. We did get another Dark Edge of Depravity, so. Cool.
Cool.
But
yeah, we had we were on pace for like maybe just under 2 hour clear, and then we failed Yogg 0 like 3 pulls in a row.
Oh really?
We had like people just didn't push like a really important like cooldown usage in phase 3, like the burn phase at the end there. It was like a taunt missed or like an aura mastery didn't go out, so like I think Table might have got silenced, so then Table's taunt to like pull the ads away didn't go out, and Table didn't realize he was silenced because he was expecting the aura mastery. So like he taunted, I think, and then like Nitro boosted it away, and then like didn't realize it that he didn't taunt, and then he had to like come back and try to go back out. So then y'all got the healing debuff things on him, and yeah, it was something like that, like for the first 3 pulls, and it was just like, damn, like we were so close. Did the whole 7 minutes of the first 2.5 phases of the fight,
Yeah.
and then it's just like, well, let's go back. So we finally
That sucks.
at like 11:40 we were finished instead of 11. It's just like, man. But we like 3-shot Algalon, 3 or 4 shot Algalon. That wasn't that bad. We had a couple. The way that we do Algalon, it's still kind of sketchy sometimes, depending on.
We actually went from the warlock strategy back to the priest strategy because it's more consistent to have one guy handle it than to try to get 3 warlocks that do not care to do the thing at the right time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're like totally checked out and they're like, "Oh yeah, I probably should have pressed that button." And then it's a wipe. Every time we have like our shadow priest do it, he just does it perfect every time. Like every time. It's just like, "Yep, it happened. Cool. Let's go." It's not like, "Oh, okay, we're going to take when we come out of this big bang, so everybody pop your cooldown." You know, like this is paranoia as we all just die as soon as we come out of the big bang. But yeah, good times. Good times.
If only our shadow priest could be that reliable.
Yeah, I think isn't Scotty J your shadow priest?
He might be.
I do want to say, I got to run with like the good raid group this week. So we have 2 raid groups on my guild. They're both good, but like there's one that's just like better geared, and that's raid 1. So I got to run with them this week. Last week I ran with raid 2, and this week our kills were faster. So like my parses went up a little bit. I finally hit stupid orange. I'm still missing 99 parses. I blame it on the gear. Like I know that sounds like, oh, don't blame the gear, but like
Copium.
The way parsing works is if you're not parsing week 1, you're playing catch up. Like that 99 is easier to get when everyone's at the same gear level. And then as everyone progresses, if you're behind, it's just that much harder to like catch up. So I am progressing. I think the only 80 sub 90 I have is Iron Council, and I do tank the first boss, so yeah. I'm not too mad about that. But and it's an 89. It's not like it's like a 46 or anything. But yeah, I finally got this stupid orange parse. I'm happy about it.
So. Hell yeah!
Hey, what's up, Ernest?
I guess it's almost guest time. The other little notes I had for what I did this week, really quick, was I tanked my first dungeon because I'm leveling up a feral from 70 to 80. So I tanked Utgard Keep, and it wasn't that bad.
Okay, that's pretty easy. That's a really good starter one.
Yeah. It was a pally healer, and the pally healer was just like insane. It must have been like a pally main that made a pally alt because they knew what they were doing.
That's good.
But yeah, that was pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
Yeah,
and then
once you get more comfortable and start just flying through the instance, it's like, yeah, so fun. But yeah,
I think it was like a 15-minute run. It was.
That's pretty good.
I was moving. You know, I was kind of chain pulling if I could.
Yeah, that is one of the biggest things I hate about paladins is like pull, sit, just go, bro, just go. Like use divine plea. Come on. Oh, sorry, that's just me. My feral, my savage roar falling off, and I'm sitting watching this paladin just sit down.
Yeah. Any chance Innervate was off cooldown and anybody needed mana, I was like Innervate, and I'm pulling.
Yeah, that's a good tank, man.
Yeah.
I mean, using your cooldowns, using your bark skin.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure Demo roars up so you don't get smacked around too hard. Yep.
And then the only other thing cool that I think I did this week was I got Lore Master of Outlands. Did all the leveling or all the questing zones in TBC.
In Outlands?
Yeah.
Grats.
I got a little bit of gold from it.
Already.
Yeah. I've never been one to do anything like that. So I went out there, got a little bit of gold from it. I got a couple of reps to Exalted like Sporegar 2 weeks ago, I think. And then I got Maghar, which is like the ogres in the Grand. I got that one. And then I might have got another one. I don't remember. But yeah, it was cool. That's cool.
Well, if you're doing mount collecting, you kind of have to get them so you can get the mount. Well, I mean, Maghar doesn't have a mount, but like Silverwing Sentinels do. Netherwing Emissary does. Sporgar has, if you're a paladin back in TBC, it had I think a weapon you really want, like a shield. It was a shield. Plus, you can kind of buy Sporgar by farming those spores that you can get in one of the instances. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I did all that during TBC, and it was so tedious and boring. So it's probably super easy for you to just like go around and kill stuff and like done. Yeah.
It was cool, like going into some heroics, doing some quests. I don't think some of those counted, but I was still doing them. All right, let me see if I can
solo all the heroics.
Yeah, let me see if I can get this guest in here. It's saying I can add him to the DM, like to the group. Confirm new group. Sure. You already have a group with these people. Are you sure you want to create a new one? I don't know.
Hop over.
Maybe we just hop over.
Yeah, do your thing. I'll hop over. I don't care.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's try it.
All
right. It's guest time. The thing's gonna be all broken. Trio cam. It's still pretty bad. Maybe if I resize it, look good. Oh, not that way. This way. Oh yeah, we're getting there. The resize. Oh, Scotty's Grif.
Hang on, can't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Grif. Can you hear Grif? You're good? Okay.
I can hear
now,
both
hi.
of you. Yeah. You guys sound fine.
Is it bad? I completely forgot about this.
I even reminded you earlier.
I know, but I've had a lot going on. Free transfers opened on EU, so we've just moved the guild to a different server. And
did you really?
Ernest was just talking about that, saying you guys were moving.
Yeah, so I'm halfway through setting the guild up and guild bank and moving all my characters, and just completely forgot.
Wouldn't it be handy if you could just move your guild too, like your whole guild?
that would be lovely.
That's a good segue, Grif, because that's one of the talking points today.
Can one of the talking points be how ridiculously lucky I am when it comes to new characters?
Why are you already like 80 fully geared on your hunter?
Yeah, nearly 5k gear score in one day.
If you have Dreambinder, I will snap your neck. With my mind.
Didn't get Dreambinder, only Storm Rune Edge, unfortunately. I've got Dreambinder on my druid. I mean, what feral hasn't got Dreambinder? I mean, come on, man. No, but I did get so much bis today. You know, my hunter's got less than, I don't know, like 14 hours /played. I've got the Algalon head, XT gloves, Yogg legs, so they're all 252. Dark matter from 10 man. The braces from XT hard mode 10 man. The cape from Vezax hard mode 10 man.
You are better geared than I am. Oh my god, that's so frustrating.
Are you?
It's my gun, but I'm using all of that, so I'm like in pretty much full hard mode gear after one day, and I'm using Nezingwary 4000, the engineering crafted gun.
Jeez.
I mean, hey, it doesn't suck completely, but yeah, it's shocking. What is BIS for a hunter weapon?
Foreign Skyforge. Yeah, okay. The one from Foreign 25. Didn't drop, unfortunately. As soon as it does drop, it's mine. But yeah, if that drops, I might as well just wait till Tuck and call it a day on the hunter already.
Raid for 1 week.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's pure luck. I mean, like you're not doing GDKPs, right? You're just doing like guild runs.
No, we do splits. So full clear Wednesday, full clear Thursday. And we done our Wednesday run tonight, so I took the hunter. And it's better geared than my druid in one day.
It's better than geared than my druid, and I've been playing my druid for like 4 months in this stupid instance. I can't get Dreambinder. I can't get Dark Matter. Man, what don't I? I don't have the bracers, like the upgraded bracers. I have the 10 man, which are still really good, but like I can't get anything. And you're sitting here like, oh yeah, I ran it once.
It's easy.
Got everything. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. The head and the gloves, because they're Mao, and I was the only hunter. And our enhancement shaman stacked. I just expected to get those, but I couldn't believe it when I got the Yogg legs. The armor pen Yogg legs, and it was like only me that needed it. It's like,
nobody else wanted them.
No, all of it I just got given by default. It was, obviously our raid is just, even our bloody split groups like alts. Everyone's stacked. So
Well, that sucks.
Well,
I mean, good for you, but
let's get the
for me.
conversation going because you've got some experience with this right now as we talk with transferring a guild like from realm to realm. So like in the classic WoW store, there's no guild faction transfer option to pay for. It's only the free character, but can you move your guild bank over too?
No,
you have to start fresh, right? You have to do a charter, go through everything.
You can throw everything on your. Oh yeah, the guild itself. You can throw everything on characters you're transferring, send them over, and then reestablish the guild, and then dump it all. But you're talking, how much can a guild bank hold? No one character can hold that much, and then so you've got to either transfer multiple characters or trust other guildies to be responsible to like, hey, I'm giving you this. Make sure it ends up on that server.
You got to buy the bank tabs. Like it's.
Yeah, I just bought one of guild bank tabs again. Yeah, it's been painful. Literally, just we've just been filling characters up. The only good thing is because it's free character transfer, the normal rules don't apply. So you can move level ones. There's no gold cap.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the only.
So you can do like
kind
of like pack mules of like level 1s of all kinds of like gear over. Cool.
Yeah, but it's still a painful old process.
Yeah. But in, I guess, retail, you can pay for your guild to change factions, to change races, and to change realms.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I know you can do full guild transfers, but yeah, I didn't know you could do all the other stuff.
This is I'm gonna throw him under the bus. This is all from Nest. Nest told me all of this information. So I'm going off of him.
Do any of us play retail? I mean, like he could say that like there's a new race, and I'd believe him, like some sort of like dragon race or something. I'd be like,
I was going to start playing retail today. Like seriously, I've had the Dragonflight Collector's Edition for ages, and I've not even redeemed the code that's in the box.
I remember you talking about. You're like, yeah, the trailer or whatever looks so good. I went out. I'm gonna play retail, and I haven't heard you say a word about it.
I've literally not logged on it since the beta, but yeah, like just waiting for the talk. I was gonna go retail, but I just re-rolled instead.
Talk is a good time to just like space out though, like play a different game, do some other fun stuff. I think you're talking about like level your alt, switch your main. Like now is the time, because talk is not a time intensive raid.
No, not unless we are having to do Alduar every week still. I mean, even if you're smashing through it and it was all post nerf, it's still
2 hours.
Yeah, still a couple of hours in it, and then you're gonna have talk, and you might be progressing. You know, you might not just go in and stomp it all. You might be, progressing on some of the heroic bosses, and who knows what they're gonna do? They don't tell us anything, do they? So
nothing.
They might make it hard. They might, step it up.
Yep, you never know.
All right, so going with this classic WoW store conversation that we started here, do we need anything else in classic WoW? In the store, retail has things like mounts that you can buy, pets, transmogs. Even though we don't have transmogs in Wrath, it'd be kind of cool, I guess, if we had that in Classic. Just like a gear set. I don't know. It'd be cool, I think, to have some of that stuff. And even there's one toy, like
I like the idea of non-game effective stuff,
like cosmetic stuff.
A good example, yeah, like. Or like, let's say it's like it's like Pirate Day, and they like you can get a transmog, not like a real transmog, but just like a pirate costume, or like an item that turns into a pirate for 10 minutes. I know they already exist, but you know what I'm saying. And you get like a parrot, which I know also already exists. But like, it'd be cool if you could just like buy that transmog, because nobody cares. No one's like, oh man, come on, you're ruining the game. Unless the parrot can somehow increase your DPS, which would be cool if somebody figured out how to do that. I don't know. I'm actually for WoW tokens at this point.
Yeah, that's.
If they want to make bank, they just need to add Joyous Journeys to the shop, where you pay like $10 or something, and you get 72 hours of it. But it's actually like 72 hours in game time. Not 72 hours. Yeah, where you've got to just no life it.
What would you pay for 72 hours of Joyous Journeys?
I'd pay a tenner, 10 quid,
Yeah.
$10, €10. Yeah.
I think first of all, I think that's a great idea. I think because we're talking about this earlier. The first time that WoW came around, we were all like teenagers usually, and not really like rich, or you know what I mean, like not rich at all. I'm not saying we're rich now, but like a lot of us have, you know, extra income that we're like, yeah, I'll throw $20 into this to make this game more fun. And yeah, like I know classic WoW, they wanted to preserve that, but I think we're just past that. Like people were like, nope, I want to make my time more efficient, and whatever I can do to make that happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, like how I look at it is compare it to private servers, obviously, and they monetize very heavily, but on things like, let's face it, there's no real power advantage or anything like that by being able to level your alts quicker, or you know. So when I say Joyous Journeys, I don't just mean 50% extra. You'd want like, I don't know, even if it was like permanent rested XP, you do a one-off payment and then it's like permanent rested XP. Things to either level quicker. Yeah, mounts, you know, why not? Like, who cares? But if they really want to make, like, if we're talking about what's good for us, like what's good for the players and what's also good for them, they just need to put in recruit a friend, because I'd have
Oh,
more
that's a good
accounts.
idea.
I pay for 4 accounts, including my NA account at the moment, but I'd pay for probably 6 or 7 just to have recruit a friend. Triple XP multi-boxing, not multi-boxing with software though, obviously.
No, you'd have one
How dare
account. You'd be steering with your right foot pedal. You'd have another account. You'd be auto running with your left foot.
That would be
And
interesting.
then I'd have my Chinese children just leveling for me whenever I'm offline.
I do think that like there is an opportunity for Blizzard to make money without upsetting everybody. Like I don't think anyone cares. Like I think so a lot of people are like, oh no, but I really love the leveling process. I don't want Joyous Journey because it'll speed it up. But like making it a buying option where people can choose to, you know, opt into it and spend their money if they want to. I don't think that upsets anybody. I don't think like there are things that people get upset about. Like I know like the random dungeon finder debate is for some reason still going on, even though I don't know anybody who's like, yeah, this LFG tool is amazing. But I don't think anybody cares about Joyous Journey. I don't know why they keep turning it off and on. Just flip the switch and let's go. But at the same time, maybe people really like the slow. Like, you know how you can, I don't know if this is true now, but in retail, you can turn off your XP.
Oh yeah, you can do that now.
Imagine if they just added turn off XP or turn on Joyous Journeys. You know what I mean? So like you can choose. Like, okay, I'm ready to pump. Let's go.
Well, you could do that anyway with Joyous Journeys. You turn it off at the innkeeper.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's
so
what
there's
you?
No. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Oh,
but there's no reason not to have it on. Yeah, but there's been data mined, isn't there, an achievement for reaching level 80 with Joyous Journeys active. So that tells me that when Joyous Journeys goes on next, it ain't being turned off.
There's an achievement for it being active when you level a character.
Yeah.
When you
Is
hit
there
level
an
80.
achievement for doing it without a character? Because
It might have. It might have been that way around. It might have been without it. I can't. But I'm fairly sure it was with it. But
I thought
could
it
be
was
wrong.
with it
might,
too. Yeah.
It
Either
might
way,
be without it.
I
I don't know.
Like, congrats,
it's more probably to
using
encourage you, isn't it, to level a character. So they put Joyous Journeys on, and then they had an achievement so people level alts, you know, or level an alt. That would probably be the.
I wasn't gonna level an alt, but now I heard that there's a Joyous Journey achievement, so I'm all for it.
I mean, that's gonna be at least 10 achievement points.
It'll be a feat of strength. It probably won't even do anything.
Doing achievements on an alt is just the most painful thing because they're not cross account. It's just like, who cares? Like those people that take like the mounts on their alts that they're on like once a month, and you're like, bro. But at the same time, when the accounts get merged, you know, like when they do the pets across all the accounts, they get it for all their characters. So I don't know.
But the thing is, without having Joyous Journeys or some way to increase XP, even if it was paid for, I mean, I could name so many people that I know myself that are actively not playing the game purely because they don't want to level without Joyous Journeys. And because they assume that it's coming back, they're not even playing the game until it comes back. So, like, it's ridiculous at this point. Wrath especially and onwards in Kata, Mop, all of that. The leveling means nothing. If you want to go and have an enjoyable leveling experience where all it's about is the leveling, go and do hardcore. Go and play on classic era servers. Because for me personally, and I reckon I probably speak for the vast majority of people, as in you just look at the amount of people that raid. The game starts when you get to 80. No, like who actually like I don't level a character and think I'm really enjoying this. I level a character thinking, 11 levels left to go, 9 levels left to go. And then you start to have fun.
I think some people do. I think some people do play the game like they enjoy leveling alts. The thing is, this doesn't affect them if they don't want it to. Like they can just. I didn't know that was even an option, to be honest, but they could just turn it off. So, you speak for let's say you speak for 80% of people that don't care about the level. The other 20% shouldn't care about this either because just turn it off. And
also at the same time though, even those
side,
the other 20% that enjoy leveling, they may enjoy leveling. I like on busy servers, and especially when there's random dungeon finder, I don't mind leveling. But it don't mean that I want to level slow. You can enjoy leveling, but but also enjoy the fact that it's sped up a little bit. That's more my point. That even if you enjoy leveling, it don't need to be a painful process.
Well, on top of that, let's say that 20% or whatever it is that do enjoy just like taking their time leveling it, they are probably having right now the hardest time finding 5-man groups for Scarlet Monastery. But you know what would encourage more people at lower levels? Joyous Journeys. So yeah, you may not use it, you may not utilize it, but it'll reinvigorate the lower levels. So those people that do love playing slowly have more people to play with. They're not looking in. What's the Tenaris 5-man that's like right there?
Zul'Farrak.
Zul'Farrak. They're like every day I when I log in looking for more ZF, and I'm like, dude, you've been looking for like a week, man. Just move on. But there's nobody at his level because no one's you either use your boost or you just don't because it sucks. It takes forever. It's a grind, or you get boosted because that's even though it's not a thing, it's still a thing.
So Scotty had an idea for the WoW store, having Joyous Journeys be in there. Grif, what would you put into the WoW store if you could choose something?
Man, I know this doesn't work with that mindset, but I really want RDF, and if they charge me $5 to have it, I'd pay it. $5 a month more to have RDF, especially if I can turn it back off, like just for leveling, just to get to 70 or 75 or whatever, and then turn it, and then stop paying a monthly fee, because I hate LFG. I hate the LFG tool, and I think I told you this. I started to level 70 alt Feral, and I was sitting there for a UK for 35 minutes. There was 14 people signed up to play it. Nobody wanted to form a group. Nobody wanted to take the responsibility to like. And I'll tell you, I finally did get in a group. We got together. We didn't talk. We ran through the instance, and then we all went our separate ways. And I don't understand where RDF is like, oh, but it's preventing like what? We still treat each other like strangers. And these are people on my server. Like I'm on a small server. I just don't get the RDF thing. So if they're like, hey, we want to make money off of this, fine. Charge me $5, and the people that don't want RDF, they can be out of that bubble. I don't care. That's my stance.
Grif wants to pay for something that should be in the game anyway. That's interesting.
Yeah, but like you could argue there's a lot of things that should be in the game that people would be willing to pay for. Like I'll pay for the pug. I was telling him earlier, if they give me that stupid pug, I want it. I miss it. I had it back then. I want the stupid pug. Give it to me.
See, and Scotty asked Chris about that in his interview. I rewatched it this morning, Scott. Your interview from 7 months ago. And you asked him.
I forgot about it.
He was like, "Yeah, we're gonna find a way to get Perky Pug in there." And Perky Pug should come with Phase 3. If it comes out in ICC, it's too late, man. Give us our little pet. We need some cool stuff to come out.
I think Chris meant he was going to add it in Mr. Pandaria though. He didn't specify that it was going to be Wrath.
Yeah. Yeah, he said soon. So Mop sounds about right.
Soon.
Yeah.
Soon.
Oh,
just
cool.
like munching right around the corner. Those munch fixes everyone's all excited about. Man, when they open their mouths, they just say the wrong thing or they don't say enough. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that
But yeah,
that dungeon I
I
tanked.
also want to say WoW token. I think WoW token should be brought in the game. And for those of you that are against the WoW token, I'm gonna spoil something for you. 80% of your guildmates are buying gold anyway. The only thing WoW tokens do is they feed the bot economy. So if you're like, oh, WoW tokens are gonna ruin the game, I don't think they do. But that's just my opinion.
I've got I need to disagree there because 80% of my guild they don't 80% of my guild don't buy gold. It's probably closer to 100.
Oh, my bad.
Maybe 98%. There might be one person who ain't got enough money to buy gold.
I might be the holdout. I've never bought
bought
gold,
it for him.
But like,
yeah. Wait, is Zach still in your guild?
Talk about it.
Yeah, oh no, he buys gold daily. Yeah.
Just call him out.
Yeah.
I think at this point, a guild like just washes gold, it cleans it for people. Not me, obviously.
Oh no,
obviously,
no.
Not me.
That's interesting. I wonder if there's
all the spare time I have.
You charge like 10% to like clean their gold, like to take in their gold, from the Chinese communities, so that you don't get blocked, and they just take 10% off the top. That's interesting. That's a good market right there.
Jeez.
That'll be on the Blizzard
I'll take
store.
the risk.
Well, for
WoW tokens.
Yeah, for retail, a WoW token in NA is $25 for 340k gold. I feel like people could do that.
It won't scale like that. Won't scale like
that. They could do that in Classic. People would be like, oh, okay, yeah, 340k, that's fine.
If that's the exchange rate, it would absolutely break so many things. The thing is, the gold amount scales with each expansion, so it's probably gonna be like $25 for like maybe 50,000 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I don't know. I mean,
I might get like
demand,
a free
right?
thing. Yeah, I might use it.
It's quite interesting though. Yeah, when you think about how rife or popular GDKP runs are. I mean, all you've got to do is host the GDKP run every week, take your cut, and never have to pay for a WoW subscription. Because that's the other side of the WoW token that I think gets lost on a lot of people, is the fact that not only can you technically buy gold legally, without breaking TOS, if you enjoy playing the economy or doing GDKPs or whatever, you also then can save yourself money by not buying gold but selling it instead.
My buddy, when the WoW token first came out back on retail, he couldn't afford WoW. Like he was, struggling to pay the $20 a month or $15 a month or whatever. And he just would dedicate every morning for 2 hours to farm gold to pay or to sell WoW tokens to pay for his sub. And I think he went like 8 months without ever having to pay for it. And that's great, especially if you're hard up for cash, but you still like the game. Like, make your money, man. Make your money. Or if you really like to farm, like these farm guys that literally they just farm all day. It turns into not directly real currency, but like essentially real currency to them. Which I think is really cool.
All right. I think we're done with the WoW store stuff, unless anybody else had anything to say that they would want on there.
I want classic mounts. Like classic specific mounts. Like I don't know if you guys heard, they came out with a new companion pet on retail, and it's XT. Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they
I might
do
have
it
heard
on
that,
classic?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So wait,
again, from private servers, there's another good one that I'd say I buy 90% of the time whenever I'm on a private server. If I know I'm going to spend any real time on there, and that's like an unlimited use food and water. So they call it, like Jaina's bath water or whatever. But then, it's literally like the equivalent of one mage food, but it never gets used. That's actually
That's
like
cool.
I'd pay for that. I'd buy that on every character.
Does that scale? Like, so you can have it at level 1?
You could
and
buy
then
it
it's
at
the
level
same
1,
thing at 80?
Yeah, make it like an heirloom so that like you can pass
heirloom
around,
food,
but you still have to buy it.
Yeah. It's one of those where, they could charge €5 or $5 or something for it because, but loads of people would buy that because it just takes up one slot and it's mega useful. And then you can just bench all mages and take more hunters or something.
Yeah. I think
Take more
that's cool
druids,
because
sorry.
like
Know your audience.
you could just send it like, I mean, assuming it's like an heirloom. Like, yeah, maybe you need it to level. Like, and honestly, that would be one of the strongest things. But even for raiding, like, you don't have to grab like a bunch of, mage food, or like the mage drops it. You only have one mage and they're on cooldown for 10 minutes. That's annoying. So,
What about profession boosts? Where would you stand on that? So they sell literally an instant 450 profession, because that, again, that's something that I personally don't like. But again,
it's
a
tricky
lot of
because you
private
can
server
buy
stores
that
do it.
now with gold. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys have that, but people make profession packages where you just, you have to stand there and just spam stuff. And I know I've made some gold selling, but at the same time, that's a market. That's an economy system. And if you remove, like, for instance, let's say you're running old content to make gold. A lot of that old content gold is for items that you need to level, whatever engineering that you can't get anywhere else. You've just now taken that economy out of the game, which people might find really annoying, especially if that's their gold farm. If they're farming like Karazhan or something like that.
Well, Blizzard already showed that they don't care about that because they did that in 70 to 80 with all the boxes from the quest. They gave mats, they gave flasks, they gave ore, they gave leather.
No, they toned the flasks down quite a bit. If you guys did it, if either one of you guys did it in like week 1 and week 2, if you were either a healer or a tank, my buddy and I tanked and he healed, and we had like 50, 60 flasks. We were just like handing them out, giving them away, because you're getting like 2 per 5-man, and we were running them like back to back to back. And then like 1 week they just like, I think it was like week 2, they just flipped a switch and you get like 1 every like 2 or 3, which sucks.
I mean,
so yeah,
I don't know if I would care for that to be in the store though, because like while I level my alts, if say I pick up mining, then it's cool to be like, okay, I've mined while I quested in Elven Forest. Now I've got 2 stacks of copper ore. I can go to the auction house and be like, oh, it's 8 gold a stack for copper ore. I can get 16 gold right now and buy a couple greens, like without having to transfer money from my main tune. So like getting rid of that, like people wouldn't be buying that copper ore to level up their professions anymore. As one example, like I would, I don't know. I feel kind of bad.
Bringing up, like, you have no idea what something like that would do to our economy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I shouldn't say you think you do, but like you make a good example of that, like the copper. But like, what about like just everything?
Herbs,
like all of the Outland items, they're now worthless, which some people might be okay with.
But is that, but in the same vein, is that not then, if they was to put character boosts on, actual level boosts, so you can boost the level 70, are we now saying nobody will ever create a character again?
No. Because
people would still level professions. Yeah, there'll be people that don't want to buy it, but there'll be people that do. So, I'm not saying, that it's right or wrong, that it should be there, but, it's pretty much the same thing. Because, yeah, if we're saying that people will still level alts even though that they could pay to just boost 1 to 70, then professions surely are the same.
Let me ask you, I know this is a thing on private servers, at least I think it is. The private servers will actually go into the auction house and take a larger cut from certain items to help balance the economy. Is that a thing that like WoW does naturally, or Blizzard does, or is that something you have to be interactive for? Like,
I don't know what you mean.
So like, I don't know what private servers do this. I was reading an article on it. Let's say you've got 300,000 copper ore, and that's just way too much, and they're selling for like 7 silver. So what they do is the cut that the auction house takes is, let's set it 10%. But for certain items like copper ore, they put it at 20%, making people hesitate to put it on the auction house, bringing the price of copper ore up to where they need it to, so that people can make money off of it. Some private servers can do that. They'll manipulate the auction house to balance the economy. Is that something that you would want Blizzard to do?
No, I don't think. No. I don't think the economy should ever be toyed with.
But isn't the engineering
it's
or
user driven?
So the same thing.
Well, yeah, but that's them making money. That to me is
That's fair. They don't make any money off of this. Yeah, that's a good point. They don't make a dime, so they don't care.
No, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're right. The profession thing, I could go either way. It's a little murky.
Yeah. I mean, if it went from 8 gold a stack to 6 gold a stack because some people were buying it, I'd still be fine. At least I'm selling it still. As long as I can sell my copper ore, that's all I care about. But assuming we're not getting random dungeon finder because Blizzard's so against it, what if we still got the perks from random dungeon finder other than it automatically grouping us up? So like we got bonus XP from level 1 to 70 in dungeons. So Blizzard can just code it to where, oh, look, it's a 5-man group in Dead Mines. They get 50% XP because they're in a 5-man group. Do we need to actually have RDF, or can we have all the bonuses with it? The 5-man group. The 5-man group kills.
All it does is not move you there.
Yeah, like you wouldn't even have to use their LFG tool either, right? Like they could tie it to that. Like you have to form a group through our tool, and then once the group's formed, then this group gets a bonus buff of XP for running a dungeon.
No, I'm out.
No, you just want the RD. You want the RDF
I just
tool.
want random dungeon finder.
Yeah.
See, that's what I think too. Like I think okay. RDF is a tried and true system. We know how it works. We understand it, and all those features that we're familiar with. I'm not sure why Blizzard thought it would be a good idea to build like a bastardized version of it when I don't know anybody that was like. I mean, I know people were like, I don't like RDF, and I think there is a choice where you could say, okay, no RDF, and then RDF. Like, you know what I mean? Like, flip a switch, but like, instead we've got this weird half version that sucks, because like, if you guys have done Heroic Pluses yet, or ever, you'll know that like, you'll sign up, and you have to put H+ in a comment. If you're having to manually type in what you want to do, then the LFG tool is failing you, because LFG Bulletin Board did a better job of it. Like LFG Bulletin Board, the way it was working, theoretically, you could put H+ and it would automatically sort people so you could see the Heroic Plus people. Like LFG could handle that. This system can't, so you have to actually scroll through and like read and look for anybody. It's so stupid. So yeah, like any attempt to try to make LFG work like RDF, it makes you ask the question, like, just turn on RDF. Like, what are we doing? Like, flip a switch, and you know it's just a switch too. That's the worst part. You know, it's just turned off somewhere, and change one binary from 0 to 1, and boom. Whew.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I just don't see the point of not having it at like now, especially. Like at the start, I sort of got it. That you wanted people to be, flying around, going to instances, interacting, forming groups and all that. But who really cares about that now?
I mean,
it should have been added in
doing
phase
that anyway.
2. No, exactly.
Like, I do. So I've been leveling. I think I mentioned I've been leveling to level 70. Anytime I do a level 70, I'm usually just standing outside the instance waiting to go in. I'm not traveling around. I'm not experiencing the world. I'm waiting because I don't want to have to then fly over there. And then the level 81s, every freaking person has a wormhole. Every single person. So you're just like, yeah, I have the wormhole down. Hurry up, let's go. And then you're all there. So like, you're teleporting anyway. Like, the only thing that happens is that flight from Borean Tundra over to Ice Crown Citadel, or not Ice Crown Citadel, over to the Oculus. That's like the big thing. Blizzard's like, we have to maintain that 30-second flight. If we get rid of that, people are gonna think that Borean Tundra is empty.
Yeah, I don't get it. As I say, for me, it's more missing out on that best part of leveling in Wrath onwards was just using RDF, like pimping your character out, with full enchants, heirlooms.
Read Conan's comment in chat. 100%. Like the AV weekend thing. It's so stupid. Everyone's like, oh, AV weekend. Everybody log in. We're going to play AV weekend. And those same people are like, yeah, but I don't want to do random dungeon. What do you think AV weekend is? It's literally random dungeon finder.
Yep.
And you're not having to run to Alterac Valley to queue.
Yeah. They should. You know what? They should make. All of the PvP. You have to physically go there to enter the PvP, so that the PvP boys will jump on board with the rest of us on the RDF train, because it's so stupid.
No, yeah, it really is. But as I say, I'd have had RDF from the word go. I just don't understand why it's even discussed anymore.
And I
As
think
in internally at Blizzard, they should just be like, no, put it in.
I think a while back, Scotty, you had talked about your stance on like DEing the items if there was an RDF. Like if there's an enchanter in your group. I don't remember what your take was. So let's see what Griff's was really quick and see if
I hate it. I'll tell you right now.
you wouldn't want it. Yeah, like
no, I'm an enchanter. Are you kidding me? I lose all of my value. I know if you're a non-enchanter, you love it because you're like, cool. I get to roll on something and get the enchants of it, and the enchanter is forced to accommodate me. Like I hate it.
It'd be cool for 70 to 80 to have it, I think, because I could actually use those mats. But like 1 to 70, I wouldn't. Like I wouldn't care if it was there. It's if there's an enchanter in the group and they hit like people want to hit DE, I'll just pass. Like whatever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind helping like an enchanter level up their stuff by passing the greens, and I wouldn't have to type in the chat or anything. You know, like, hey guys, I'm an enchanter. Like no, wouldn't have to worry about any of that stuff.
No,
I don't type.
The only reason I think it makes sense to be there is because if you're doing a pug, like if you're doing a guild group, it doesn't matter, does it? It's convenient that you got the disenchant button because everyone knows they all pass, and the enchanter just presses DE. Like jobs are good. But if it's a pug, surely you don't join a pug as an enchanter and go, oh, by the way, I'm needing on everything to disenchant it. You don't. You just press greed on everything. So whether that person greeds and wins the item, or they press disenchant and they win the enchanting mats, why is that not a good thing? Because you're not losing out on anything.
There's a couple of reasons. So first, a lot of people actually pass on greens instead of on greed, so that I get them more frequently than normal. Secondly, at the end of a 5-man, I'll offer to buy them for the cost that they would vendor them for, and that way they get their 20 gold and I get my 80 gold.
I've never seen anyone do that.
that's how I make most of my gold.
Yeah, I've literally never seen anyone do it. No, for me, I don't. Again, I just don't see a downside to it being in. You know, I just think about me personally when I'm in an instance, I just press greed on everything.
Yeah,
you know. So if there was an enchanter in the group, so I could press disenchant instead, I'm going to get enchanting mats instead of just vendoring the stuff and getting gold. Like,
I'll tell you, I would get over it. I just saying, like, if I had a choice, I would say no. That's a good chunk of gold for me as an enchanter. I would though, if they did bring that up, I would immediately go jewel crafting. Like, one of the benefits of enchanting is I do make a decent amount of money off of it. And honestly, I wanted to switch to jewel crafting anyway, and this would be like that reason. I'm like, okay, well, there goes I don't care about enchanting. It's not hard to find an enchanter. At least hopefully it won't be. I'll go JC and get that slight boost. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't care either way. It's not something where I'm like, oh, I wish they'd put it in. It's just if it was there, I couldn't care less either way, really.
I have had people
100%
say, hey, I'm gonna need on everything because I'm an enchanter. Just let me know if you actually need something, and I'll pass on it. And then
that's what you do with a guild run. Sure.
No, it was pugs trying to level up, and then like at that point, I felt like a dick if I if I rolled like on anything. I'm like, well, this guy's. I'll be nice. I'll pass on this loot that has 2 extra agility so that they can get their enchanting mats.
That's messed up.
Nice, eh?
Yeah.
No, man, that's like the guy. Like everyone greeds on the frozen orb, and then he needs on it. He's like, yeah, but I need it for a crafting. Like, no, dude, no, that's not a.
Yeah, my alt needs this piece that I need to craft, so I'm just gonna need this thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and need it because I need it, right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't care. It's like it's so trivial, but at the same time, like if they said, "Hey, Grif, what do you think?" I'd be like, "No," but if they rolled it out, I'd be like, "Yeah, that's fine. I don't care."
Yeah, no, and I mean, I'm the same. Apart from instead of saying no, I'd just be like, whatever. I just don't care.
Well, I don't think that aspect of the game rolled out until Forge of Souls ICC instances. Because I remember the first time
Yeah,
I
it's when
saw it was
Random
in
Dungeon
Forge
Fighter
of
came
Souls.
out.
I was like, oh, there's a DE button. What is this? You know. So yeah.
Yeah, it was
Either
done
way.
purely because of Random Dungeon Finder. So
Mhm.
you know, because it's all cross realm, it's the aid with that, isn't it? You know, but
Oh yeah. Well, then that goes to the question: do you want cross realm RDF?
yeah, the quicker I can get in, the better.
I know, but you guys are on like super servers. Like, does that even is that even a big concern?
I've been on a dead server for well since launch pretty much. So I don't
Really?
pug anything. Literally, I do not. Well, I've probably been in 2 pugs or something like that. You know, since launch, I'll just do everything with the guild.
I can't get Zombie Fest. Nobody wants to do it.
Oh, Culling a Strath.
I
Kill
have every
50
single
things
achievement
in
for that
under a
stupid
minute or
thing. I
something.
cannot get it. I cannot get a group formed for Zombie Fest, guild or otherwise. People just do not want to do that, man. I don't get it.
It's fun.
I don't know how to do
I
it.
wanted to do it. Like, as soon as I could, I wanted to. Like, every group I got in early on at level 80, I was like, yo, we're going to try to, like, push down this hallway, clear all these zombies really quick.
Scotty, did you make a video on how to do Zombie Fest yet?
Yeah,
Because legit,
before launch, I would have done one. Yeah.
I've been in like 3 pugs that are like, this is how you do it, and it never works. And I'm like, well, and they're like, okay, what you do is
It's mega
you
easy.
right before the last boss, you position a hunter at the far corner, and then you just when you're killing the boss, you just have him run through, and then you run up the stairs, and you have to get him from the second hallway. I'm like, what? You have to combine both? And he's like, yeah, it's the only way to do it. It did not work.
Hey,
Yeah.
just
If you're
just
out
have
there,
a holy paladin. Just run around, grab everything, and then bring them all into the first room that you go in when you start the whole RP, and then press Holy Wrath.
is that enough? Is that enough to kill it? Like just
It
the
don't
first
kill it. It
section?
won't kill them all, but it's going to stun them all, and you got 4 other people
No, but I
there to do
mean,
it. You know.
is the first section of Calling the Strathhome, does it have enough zombies to do the achievement, or do you need the second hallway combined?
You need the second hallway as well. Yeah, you basically just clear. I think it's been a while since I've done it. But you basically just clear up until the point where you're gonna, talk to whoever it is and start the RP. You know, where you then go
Arthas?
in and they start Arthas, that's the one, and they start losing their illusions and shit. I don't
You know
care
that
about
one
lore, mate. I
guy.
care
That
about
one
pumping.
guy. I can't think of it.
Yeah. You go in, and then you go in that room and then just have a holy paladin just run round and grab everything and bring it all back and then AoE it down. I don't remember
I'm gonna
doing
have
anything
to.
special at all.
Yeah, I've not yet to achieve that. That's the only achievement I don't have, and it really bothers me.
Poor
I'll
Griff.
quickly buy Joyous Journeys off the WoW store, level a paladin on your server, and come and help you do it.
Carry me through it. I appreciate it. With my luck, you'd be more geared by the time you got there, so that'd work out really well for me.
Easy.
But
Oh, man. So what about having quest givers at the front of the dungeon? Was that a thing in Original Wrath? Did they, like, when RDF came out, did they move the quest givers, or was that Kata? Was that even a later expansion?
It was Kata, I believe, because that's when you start getting the progressive dungeon quests, don't you? Where like the first quest will be to kill the first boss, and then once you kill that, you press complete, and then it gives you the quest to kill the next boss. Yeah, I think that was Kata where the majority of that changed.
I kind of like that.
Really?
After doing so many alts where I've actually had to, like, fly to Thunderbluff, pick up quest, fly to Orgrimmar, go to Undercity, take the Zeppelin, and then finally I've got all of my RFC quests, and then I can do RFC, get all those completed. I'm over running around getting all the quests. I would like to have those at the front of the dungeons at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of quests still though where it's got pre-quests and shit in it. Even now in Wrath, where all that was removed. You know, like even RFC, you have to go if you want all of them. You have to go and grab one from Thunderbluff. There's one where you need to go in that cave, don't you, and outside Orgrimmar and do that little quest chain to unlock the dungeon quest. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Yeah, just give us the quests all inside when we've just queued with Random Dungeon Finder.
honestly, like if I go back to RDF memories, like the amount of XP you got just from completing the RDF at the end was almost guaranteed to boost you to another level. So like quests were like, yeah, cool. If I do it, I do it. If not, like when you kill that final boss, you get like the little bag full of gifts and stuff, and your XP just skyrockets. I don't care. Like that's all I need. The only time I ever did all of them was in Dire Mall West. Like that was the only time where I would do, because like you had to go up to the thing and remember, like I mean the quests are there now, but like at the beginning you had them all at the front. So you'd pick them up, and then I felt obligated to go up to the stupid thing and do
Yeah.
all the quests. And that was the only time I ever like, and nobody knew what they were doing in Dire Mall West because nobody ran it even back in the day. So then they're like, "Why are you going up and then coming back down?" You're like, "Well, you had to unlock the thing to like then attack the dude, to then go to the door, to then go to the stupid prince off to the side." Man, what a mess!
Yeah, there's
And
a
then
few
went back.
annoying things. You know, like even
Mhm.
the amount of people that will just like leave groups because between 50 and sort of 58, you just want BRD prism runs. So you'll queue, you won't get a prism run, the group will fall apart, and then you queue again. You know that does get irritating, but you know I take it with all its flaws.
I mean, Blizzard could tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are, you got a dungeon deserter, but then you can all vote to kick each other, so you don't get dungeon deserter. But they could just change that, where you get it no matter what.
Or make that BRD run be a little bit longer until you got to the last boss. Have it
Yeah,
include arena or whatever.
yeah, could just
That
add
would suck.
extra things that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh man, you just like triggered when you get into a BRD random dungeon finder and nobody can agree what the final boss is. So you're like 45 minutes in and it was the chick to the right when you
Mm-hmm.
walk in and you're like down, you're like fighting like the fire dude, you're killing, like you're running around just killing everything. You're like, why don't we just check the first girl? I think it's just the first girl. They're like, no. It's gotta be like the stone golem or the king. We're doing the king quest. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, well, it should put you in different places, so it like
Yeah,
puts you. Yeah, it puts
it's
you at the
supposed to.
entrance if it's prison. Puts you at the tavern if it's the
Yeah.
last boss,
And then
etc.
there's like the other mole machine spot that's like it has a little closet thing right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um but I've done it where like they're just like running through just doing everything and I'm like, it's an RDF, man. I don't want to spend 45 minutes in here. Oh my gosh.
Well, speaking of
But yeah.
quests, I use Questy to figure out like my old world quest. Like when I was doing Lore Master at TBC this week, I was using Questy, and even like since Wrath has launched, it seems like Questy's gotten a whole bunch of updates because Blizzard is changing things, so they're having to add quest things at certain points. But Blizzard had said that they were going to have their own quest helper in the game, and I think it would probably function better. I think he even said that it was a better tool than like ones that you can download. So like I'm ready for their in-game quest helper as long as it could show me all these quests that I can't really find sometimes with Questy. Maybe Rested XP is a better questing tool right now than Questy is, but I haven't really tried that one.
Yeah, for actually leveling, yeah, in my opinion, it's the best. I've obviously just
Mhm.
leveled my hunter with rested XP again. I don't level
Uh,
without it, but to go back and do lore master, you wouldn't use rested XP for that,
Mm.
I
or,
definitely
or I
think if
wouldn't.
you're if you're going for either speed, or if you want to just kind of zone out, I think that's another good thing Rest XP does. Like if you're like, I've done all these quests, I just want to get through it. I don't want to worry about like what I don't want to press L ever. You know, I don't want to like, what quest do I have? What is it? What am I? You just want to get it done because you've done like 1,000 times. Rest XP is 100% the best way. Um, However, Blizzard's built-in one is a nice little like, it's like questy. It's just like a, like open your map, you're like, okay, I got to kill these things, I'll go over here. I don't know why it's not in the game though. I don't know what mentality they're like, no, let's not give them this, let's make them use a third party add-on for the
I think they
exact
want it
same
in the game,
tool.
probably just can't get it working.
Mm.
You think
There's
so?
no. Yeah, I would have thought so. I mean, there's no reason for it to not be in the game. Me personally, even if it was in the game, there's like you just said with rested XP, there ain't anything better. I've tried Zygor and other add-ons just to really compare them, but yeah, I am a rested XP fanboy.
You,
I
you
just
guys
follow the
remember
blue
the
arrow. That's it. Create a character,
yeah,
follow the blue arrow, and then I ding 80. It's great.
do you guys remember before all of this, there was like the guides. There was like famous guides online that you'd have to like. They would literally walk you through step by step everything you're supposed to do. I can't remember the name of them. Everyone knows the names of them, but I can't think of them. They were like line for line, kill this, then do this, then do this, and it's like it's essentially what Rest XP is, except in a text form. And you'd like lose your position, and or like your XP was much more rapid than the guide is set up for, and so you have to like skip ahead, but you skip the wrong section, and then you don't have the right quest. And oh my god, what a mess! I can't think what they're called though.
don't
Well,
remember either.
there was Ding 80, which was good. Ding80.com, Ding70.com. I've used them in the past.
They were like really questionable, like from like a source that has way too many pop-ups, kind of thing. But yeah, I remember those. Those are the days.
All
Quest
right.
helper doesn't make enough dev sense with the multiple questing add-ons already on. Exactly. No, not Thoughtbot. I can't think.
Oh
of
yeah, I
called.
remember Thoughtbot.
It's like a guy. It's like a person's name. Like
I remember.
somebody's quest guide.
Oh, the hunter. Yeah, he was like world first 60 back in original vanilla or something. It sounds like a girl's name, but it's not. It is actually a guy.
I
just can't remember.
Kind of ringing a
They were
bell.
like famous. I don't know, Pan. If I ask my buddy, because that's the only way he's ever leveled, he's like, yeah, it's that guy. I don't know. But yeah, anyway.
I'll tell you in a sec.
Rest XP is the way better version of that. I'm trying to Google it. I couldn't figure it out. I don't remember the name of it. If I saw it, I might be like, yeah, that's it.
So it's not Crips?
No, it's not Crips. I'll tell you what it is in a sec.
I used it. The last time I used it was in. Not
Joanna's
Cataclysm.
classic guide. Joanna's
That sounds
World.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Joe because it's not Joe. It's spelt Joanna, but it's not. It's like Jonah. So it's actually a guy. But yeah, I always thought it was a girl.
Yeah, Joanna's classic 1 to 80 leveling guides.
Yeah,
They still look like they were made in 1995. That's awesome. Anyway, yeah, check them out.
Oh, yeah, nice plug. Yeah. The stream sponsored by Joanna. Yeah.
Joanna's classic 1 to 80 guides haven't been updated since 2009. But
Jeez.
They are our sponsor.
Trying to get some traction again.
Yep.
All right, the last
Our other sponsor is a fax machine. No, go ahead.
Oh my goodness. The last topic I had for us to discuss here today was something I put in today. So if you didn't read the notes that I changed today, then it's right there. 5 little words at the bottom. Fresh servers for phase 3. Like, would that make sense? Like, do you think people would hop on a fresh server like halfway through Wrath? Because
I think we have to go back. How were fresh servers for phase 1? Like,
yeah, really good, banging.
And then they kind of fell off, right?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
now they open them up
were
to
great for about a month. Oh yeah. They're they're dead now, the majority of them. But for the first phase, it was ridiculous. Like if you wanted to raid in the evening, you had to start logging on at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Feckle was where I've just moved off of. Yeah, they were like 10 to 13 hour queues most days.
Well, at this
Oh, go ahead.
At this point, I think if they were to launch a phase 3 server fresh, I'd probably level a tune on it.
I would. I love fresh. And yeah, fresh Wrath phase 3 that you can just get geared and blast through. Talk, yeah, you got Trial of the Champion, you'd have heroic pluses, like even the gearing up would be quite fun. I'd definitely level on a fresh server. I'm not saying it's a good move. I don't think they should bother, but yeah, but if it was there, I'd play on it. But that's why I always play on private servers, because I just like that first, month of a fresh server.
Mm-hmm. If they launched like the fresh server with Joyous Journeys and maybe like if they even had RDF.
Yeah. If they made an RDF like server, like you had to transfer to the RDF, would you transfer your character? I would.
Yeah, if it was open for transfers, I'd
Like
be there.
even if it was in fresh, if they're just like, hey, Fairlina is now an RDF server. If you want to play RDF, you have to be on one of these 6 servers. You're allowed to transfer off or on, but we're only allowing so many per whatever. I think it might make it really interesting because you just have a flood of people going to it. Every alt would be created on those. Like no one would bother creating anywhere else.
Just have like one fresh server with RDF, one without it. See which one's more popular, and then we can know, did people really want it or did they not want it?
So, okay, I think Blizzard. I don't know, man. There's so many problems that like are seemingly unfixable. I'm wondering if it's worth Blizzard's like focusing on. Like the imbalance of servers is so bad now that almost every server is 99% Horde/Alliance, but they're allowing server transfers, but they're not controlling like what faction. Like, hey, transfer, but only if you're Alliance onto this one, so we can balance you out. Like, is that something they should be trying to do?
Oh yeah, they should try and have balanced servers. Yeah, I mean the server we've just moved to today is predominantly Horde. Like they need to balance the servers, or they need to. If there's a predominantly Horde server and a predominantly Alliance server, they should do a bit like retail, where the servers are linked. They should link them. So there's Alliance. Yeah, so does World PvP still for people who enjoy World PvP. I know I'm not saying there's that many people that like to go around and do it, but I do personally. As in when I'm leveling an ult, if I'm running around STV and stuff like that, and you've got like all full heirlooms with Crusader enchants and everything. There's nothing more fun than ganking people. Yeah.
I on top of that, I think they spent a lot of time. I don't know how much time they spent, but they fixed Winter Grasp to work very differently than it did because of the server imbalance. And it makes me wonder, had they instead put the time into figuring out how to force character transfers to help balance the servers better, they wouldn't have to like do that thing where it's an instance system and one person on your server has to have won Wintergrass in order to get into VOA. Because people just treat VOA like it's always open, which 95% of the time. But you get that one time where you're like, no one on our server did a Wintergrass and won today. That's embarrassing. And then you got to wait for the new cycle to come around. But like, I don't know. I haven't seen. There's like 3 Horde on our server, and when we had to do the what was the most recent achievement? Like the April, maybe Valentine's Day. I can't remember. You had to like do stuff. Oh, Easter. You had to do different. You had to put Easter, Easter ears on or bunny ears on certain races. Like how hard it is to find like anything from the Horde. You had to go into PvP and like track them down while you're trying to fight them, and like spam a button to put ears on them. It's so stupid because as an Alliance, I'll go around the corner to where the Horde thing is, and it's completely empty. There's just it's an unused section of our Dalaran, and it's kind of a downer.
It's difficult. It is difficult. It's easy for us to sit here and say they should be balancing servers, but realistically, it's not easy. As I say, the only way they could do it if they wanted to make sure that there's a decent portion of each is to link and unlink servers as they shift. But
yeah,
is that ideal? No, of course it's not. But then, like us, where we've just moved, we had the choice between Earthshaker, which is like 99% Alliance, and Mograine, which is 99% Horde. Obviously, we went to the 99% Horde because why would we go to somewhere where the Horde is there's just no representation? So you've got we had no choice. It'd have been great to go. Oh, actually, let's go on. Try and balance out the other server. It would take a lot more than just our guild to go and balance out a server.
Let me ask you, what was your motivation for transfer?
Our server's dead, mate. Literally, you can't even level a profession on the Horde on Thekel. When I was trying to do dual crafting today, there were 6 copper bars on the auction house.
So you would have been in the same boat anyway had you went to a Horde server or an Alliance server.
Alliance server, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's difficult. Obviously, you do. You could add. I think what would solve a lot of it is like the racial difference between Horde and Alliance is just miles apart. As in, a Horde have better PVE ratios, and then humans have got better PvP racials because essentially you can use free trinkets. If they just removed that and had racial shift in the game where there's an NPC, maybe it's got a 30-day cooldown or something like that, and you can go and pay gold to switch your race, and you just switch all of your racial abilities, including the passive bonuses, the on-use bonuses, and all of that. So that way, even the Horde then could go, right, we want someone who race shifts to Draenei, so we get a 1% hit on the Horde, and then the Alliance can get Berserking. It then just makes it purely aesthetic, and I think would help. It's got to be there's got to be some form of intervention from Blizzard to be able to balance the servers, and I think when racials play such a big part competitively in both PvE and PvP, they're never going to fix it just leaving it as it is.
It would be cool to have the 1% hit from Draenei buff as a Horde player. That's the one PvE thing that I could think of that I would like. Yeah, because Tauren has the better Druid racial.
Every man for himself for PvP, or what's it called now? Whatever, you guys know what I mean.
Will to Survive? No, I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I think Will to Survive.
Will to Survive sounds about right.
But like every PvPer would probably want that free trinket. I don't know though. But that's the thing. Like, even just giving people the option to like choose their racials does really, it negates the Horde versus the Alliance thing, which people might hate. They're like, no, if you want to be Alliance, and get the abilities. If you want to be Horde. I don't care personally, but like the balance. I know people said in the comments, no, I like my world where I can travel around and not have to worry about getting ganked. In reality, it doesn't happen. It kind of adds to it, and it makes you a better player because you're more aware of what's going on and you know how to press. Like we were talking about last week, we were talking about TOGC and how you're going to be doing the champions, and people are going to have to bind keys to their key binds that they've never even used before because CC wasn't a thing and they don't PvP. It's healthy to know how to at least PvP a little bit, and if you're not willing to go into battlegrounds, like getting stalked by a rogue teaches you really quick how to not die and how to get away, and yeah.
What Blizzard could do actually to help that as well is add PvE realms.
Yeah, they should try that. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's all I've played.
I've suggested for a while. I got on top of that, Scotty. If you're in a PvE realm and like you just have like the urge to PvP, you could turn it on somehow.
Rub it really hard. Oh no.
But yeah, I agree. If you don't like the PvP, you just go to a PvE realm, and then if you do like the PvP, go to a PvP realm.
Yeah, like balancing a PvE realm doesn't. I wouldn't care. Like
the only thing that matters is for the achievements for all these stupid, turn a Horde priest into a chicken or whatever the quest is for the stupid achievements. Like the Halloween one's another good example where you have to like track down specific races, not even races, race class combinations. And when you only have 3 Horde on your server, it's an absolute nightmare.
It's all right. What Blizzard will do is say, to counter the server imbalance, we're going to remove that achievement from the meta, so you don't need it anymore. Anything remotely difficult, let's just remove.
Yeah, let's just make it easier. And everybody gets a time lost proto Drake because you've spent a lot of time in the game. We want you to make you feel like you're special.
Buy it from the new Blizzard store.
If they made time lost proto Drake a purchasable, I would laugh. I would buy one, but I would also laugh for those guys that spent like hours just hanging out trying to fit the guy that get that stupid Drake. I've never seen it in my life. I'm okay with that. I accept that consequence. So.
What was the question? Oh yeah, fresh servers.
Fresh server, yeah.
Fresh server. Sorry,
I just had to look back up because I couldn't remember what we were talking about.
Would we want a fresh server in phase 3?
I won't switch.
You wouldn't level fresh?
I might play an alt, but I'm not moving my characters to fresh. No.
Oh yeah.
Well, because you can't, right?
That's you wouldn't be able to. Yeah.
Yeah, I might like for fun. It wouldn't become my main server though.
I'd level on one where you go.
Thank you. And I would be a druid, of course.
I'd be a paladin.
No, I think
man.
I think it'd be cool if we got that. Any other ideas of what Blizzard could or should have in Phase 3? We know we're not getting anything, but what would be cool?
They need to go back. They need to go back on their promise of only having either normal or heroic. Not even just for like, I get why. Like the logic when you say it out loud makes sense. But they just created so many problems for themselves by saying that out loud. If they would have said something and said like, we're thinking about maybe making it, they said we're not going to allow you to do both normal and heroic 25-man TOGC. By doing that, they just created so many headaches. And I really would like it if they said, we were wrong. Play what you want. Here's the game that we promised you as is. I don't know. I just don't see it going well in Phase 3 because we don't know. We don't even know what they're doing to fix that problem.
I'd just like a roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Literally just a roadmap of what their intentions are over the next 12 months, with rough guesstimations of how long each phase would be.
Do you think they avoid player feedback to be able to streamline their own decisions? Or do you think they just don't have the time to get player feedback?
I don't know.
Because like
I think they do get
player.
I think they get player feedback, and they do, follow different trends and Reddit and all of that. Like I don't doubt that at all. But ultimately, whilst yes, they're here to make please the players. They're a company that are there to make money, and they can't we look like at one phase in advance, don't we? We're like, oh, phase 3, what's coming? Oh, we want this, we want that. They're looking 5 years in advance. What's going to be sustainable for them to continue making money for the next 5 years. And retail are cracking that. Like they actually are. The transparency of what they're working on and how they're working on it and what's coming down the line, that's really, really helped. And it's mostly positive. Whereas Classic, that's where they're failing completely because we haven't got a clue what happens at the end of Wrath. We should know what's going to happen at the end of Wrath. When we was playing Wrath back in the day, we knew there was going to be another expansion. We weren't sat here thinking, oh God, when we clear this raid, there ain't going to be anything left. We knew they would add something, or there'd be a new expansion, there'd be a new patch, there'd be a new phase, there'd be a new raid. There'd be something. Whereas we're like, I don't know, what are they thinking? What are we going to play end of next year?
Is it worth me to farm all these achievements if this tune is just going to have nowhere to go at the end of the Wrath?
Exactly. And I think they forget that, people will look at it like that. Well, why should I bother? In 6 months, I'm not going to be playing anyway. I might as well play something else. And I think with a little bit more transparency of their plans, they'd probably keep people interested because you'd be like, all right, okay, so after TOC, they're estimating that ICC will launch in November or whatever. If you know roughly when things are coming, rather than it just getting dropped on the PTR without a blue post, and then they put a blue post out when everyone's already cleared the raid on the PTR. They can't carry on like it.
There's more to that too. So first, I want to point out I've been following Blue Tracker, and in the last week for retail, they've put out over 30 blue posts in the last week. I know 10.1's coming out, so there's obviously a lot more, stuff going on. But just keep that in mind. Where we got 3 posts in a week, to be fair, for a feral nerf bug fix thing, but we haven't had anything in a long time. Now, on top of that, one of the things that used to be a big deal, and it still kind of is for Classic, is people used to take off work to prepare, like to get into a phase. Like, or like Wrath is coming out, and like when they announce the date, people take off time of work, and they're like, I'm gonna level up for Wrath. People like to do that for phases too, and when they get blindsided by these phases, like we have no idea if phase 3 is coming out in a month, 2 months, 3 months. We have no idea. And so people trying to request time off work, they're just like waiting, and then they finally hear, and then even then they're like, oh, it's on the PTR, and then they have to start like guesstimating, like, okay, well the PTR is out, so maybe 3 weeks from now, and can't they just say, hey, June 1st, that's what we're aiming for. As long as the PTR rolls out fine, well, that's what we'll do. And I don't get why they're so quiet on, because you're right, we already know what there's there. Like, it's not like TOGC is just not going to come out. So I don't know why they're just not like, yeah, June 1st.
But I mean, like the guy who clearly knows it all in the comments, comparing WoW Classic to private servers, and saying, like you either go to cat or you don't. I mean, again, kind of a ridiculous thing to say, because even on private servers, the day the server, a decent private server, by the way, I'm not saying like every one of them are like it, you normally get a roadmap with a private server where they're like, this phase, Nax is going to last X amount of months, Alduar is going to be. They even lay out their plan at the start of a private server launch. So why can't Blizzard do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, and not even like, the thing is, I think, and maybe this is true, Blizzard thinks we're gonna like jump down their throat if they like walk back something, or like if they say, hey, it's gonna be June 30th, and then come June they're like, hey, actually we looked at the timeline and we're gonna push it to July 5th. Like, fine, like that's cool. We see it coming. You're giving us a heads up, but it's just like they're afraid that if they say the wrong date, everyone's gonna be like, oh, how dare you. I mean, they might, because they're like, I took time off work, but still, like, just give us something, like just a rough guideline.
The Shadowlands got delayed.
Wrath.
You accept it. Yeah, people was annoyed, but things do get delayed. But if roughly, it's like, if they haven't, even if it was in quarters, they was like, or I don't know, seasons, whatever. They was like, yeah, summer. Between June and August. That's when we're aiming. That's the window where we're going to aim to get phase 3, and then another 3 months. That's the period where we're trying to just some form of direction. But I think the main thing is they'll be hearing all over the place that the classic ends with Lich King 25 heroic, and that's what they should be focusing on. And they should already be focusing on like get it, saying, look, yeah, we are going to do kata. We know there's a lot of people that don't like kata, but this is what we're going to do. It's going to be different. It's not going to be kata how you remember it. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And I think that's where they should be trying to get ahead of the kata hate before it even starts.
Yeah, and I think if they knew what they were doing, they need to figure out how to sell kata again, like to the people that are on the fence. Like, hey guys,
I'm on the fence.
Coming. The biggest problems we had in kata were time related, and we're promising you we'll solve that, and we're gonna show that by poorly releasing Wrath in a blind. You know what I mean? Like, if they handled the timing of Wrath better, people would have more confidence in them handling the timing of kata. Instead, we're just like, I don't know, maybe like people are asking me, oh, when's phase 3? And I'm like, May or June, maybe July.
Just say, they go, when's phase 3? And you go, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I get people asking me all the time, is Talk out yet? I'm like, nope.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I put on the screen and I send it in the Discord thing, like what Dragonflight gets. And we kind of got this for TBC. We got the timeline and everything. But
well, even Classic WoW had just a general timeline. And when they put it out, players gave them feedback, and they actually adjusted it according to player feedback. TBC had something like this. Wrath has had nothing. And look how clear this is. Like, it's not even like specific dates, but they're just saying, okay, 10 point, is that 1.5 or 1.3?
There's it starts with 10.0.5 for winter.
No, like, sorry, 10 right after season 2, it says patch 10.1 point whatever.
Yeah,
summer.
0.5, yeah.
Like, even if they had just this, like a general guideline for like what raids were coming, this would be it. Like, this is okay, cool. That's it.
And then they have.
And then they put in when they're going to add some, 10.1.5. That's when they're going to actually put random dungeon finder in, or they're going to just these little extra bits that there needs to be something shared about it. Because as I say, me personally, this is coming from the person who's actually quite excited to play Cata again. I'm on the fence myself on whether Wrath's going to be the end for me or not, and it's purely actually partly down to Blizzard's poor just communication and execution. Like I'm not really, I'm loving Wrath because of the guild I'm raiding. With two different really good guilds that I like. All the people in, but I still don't like what they've done. No random dungeon finder. Don't like heroic plus. The constant like changes to classes and then saying, "Oh, no more. We're not going to change anymore," and then they do another one, and it's just I've not been a fan of how they've handled Wrath. And if
I'm not mad about the last. I'm not mad about the last class change. I felt like that was
was that a good one? Was it?
Yeah, no, but
I know.
I'm in the exact same boat as you though, Scotty. I talked to Go about this. I was looking forward to Cata, Wrath, the management of the Wrath, like the unawareness and the stress it puts on me because I don't know. Like I want to know like what's going on, and it just makes the game less fun. To the point that I'm like, I don't know if I need Cata. Like, if they made this exciting, if I was excited, because that's the other thing is like, they're not even pumping their phases. Like, they did a decent job with Ulduar, but like, they also teased Ulduar for a long time, even prior to, like Wrath expansion. I'm not excited about the phase handling of Wrath, and like all I'm thinking is like, well, Cata, like if are they gonna do no RDF all through Cata? Is that what their mindset is? Are they gonna yeah,
it'd be
you're
awful.
right.
But the thing is, for me as well, like purely selfishly, just from my perspective, it's not going to be the same for everyone else. But I want my next game to be Ashes of Creation. I'm really looking forward to it. I enjoyed the alpha, but that's a couple of years away. So I need something to pass the time
so
between now and when I can start making Ashes content. I'll probably need to play Cata, just to keep me entertained. Because nothing else holds my attention. That's the problem. The amount of hours I've sunk into Wrath. Like I didn't play that much in TBC. Not like I do now, where I'm raiding on 4 characters every week, doing full 25 clears, full 10 clears on all 4. I've not gone that. This is the hardest I've gone in Classic. But obviously, I love Wrath, and I probably would go that hard equally in Cata as well. But I haven't got. It's MMOs. They're the only thing that sort of scratch that itch, if you know what I mean. Whereas I wouldn't be able to say, right, Lich King's dead, I'm quitting, I'm just going to play the PlayStation 5. I need an MMO. It's just my genre.
Yeah,
and I don't know what else I play.
I think Cata can be, for a lot of people, if you didn't play Cata the first time around, because that's one of the more memorable ones for me, believe it or not, but the biggest issue they had was they had these huge. I mean, it was the same argument you can make for Warlords of Draenor. They had these huge, just dead times, where they just had no fresh content. And the funny thing is, Classic was supposed to be the solution to that, because they legitimately have all of the content already done for the next 5 years, and for some reason we're still going through content droughts. Yeah, I don't know.
They space it out too much, even in Classic. But again, that's if you're clearing the content, I suppose that's a difficult one, because for me, like 3 months of any given tier, that's enough. 12 resets. I'm bored. I'm normally bored after about 4, but let's say
but there's a lot
12
of people that haven't
resets.
down Elgalon,
Exactly. Yeah. So you just can't please everyone. But yeah, you don't want a year of Dragon Soul.
But phase 3, a lot of people assume the nerfs for Ulduar. I know other people have said they're not going to nerf Ulduar at all. If you're struggling with Ulduar, one of the easiest fixes is either a nerf or better gear, and phase 3 can bring that. So even if the content drought isn't affecting you yet because you're struggling so hard on Ulduar, phase 3 can fix it for everybody. It'll give more content to people that are waiting on it, and it will allow people that are struggling on the current content either better gear or a nerf to go with it. So I get the argument of the content drought being healthy for more struggling players, but I also see that phase 3 could make it much more simple or easier. I don't know.
And yeah, like for this graphic, I don't know if it's easy to see on the stream or not, but it's got in fine print, more news beyond this roadmap to be shared and features will evolve based on player feedback. And then in minor, like tiny fine print, it says content and timing subject to change. That's all they have to do for us. Just put the little disclaimer on the bottom of it. Here's a roadmap. It could change.
It's funny though that it says content and timing, because that's basically saying all of this could be
Anything.
wrong.
Yeah.
We literally could just screw this up right away and do a completely different one next week.
Yeah.
I'd be completely okay if someone just took this picture from Blizzard and just like pasted on the Wrath logo and just drew over everything to like where they want. I don't even need like a high quality. If it's just someone with like Notepad just post like, hey, here's our plan, I'd be okay with it.
So we might.
In chat, just briefly. So Jared said phase 3 also likely won't be very long. How long's not long, and how long's long enough? As in, like, it's a serious question. So, phase 3, how long realistically do you expect it to be before we get ICC? Because remember, ICC is the next raid after TOC, and it's the one that everyone other than Alduar should really be excited for. I don't know. How long do you think it'll be? I'll give you my thoughts after.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it at the top of the show that we're 8 months in. Blizzard kind of said a year and a half, so we've got like 10 months left of Wrath at least. So we take the last month off for pre-patch for Kata, because obviously Kata's coming. Everybody knows Kata.
No. Yeah, pretend like it's not. You're an idiot. It's coming.
So we've got 9 months to play with. So like, if we give this another month of phase 2, then we've got 8 months left to play with. So it's like, is it TOC going to be 3 months and ICC is going to be 5 months? That'd be fine with me.
And Ruby Sanctum?
Well, Ruby Sanctum
just going to be thrown in with ICC.
Yeah, Ruby Sanctum gets thrown in with ICC.
It's shoehorned in.
Yeah, a month or two after ICC comes out.
I think they should, even though it's maybe considered phase 4, they should just either release Ruby Sanctum with ICC, or maybe even like a month or two after, for those people that are kind of like fast progressing. At least gives them something to do, even though the gear isn't. I mean, you're getting like one piece of gear from Ruby Sanctum, maybe. I don't know.
So yeah, 3 months for me for phase 3.
3 months.
I think it'll be similar to Alduar.
A little longer.
Lockouts. How many lockouts are we on now?
16?
13?
15 or 16? Really? Yeah.
I think is it 16? I think 16 sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah, I want to say 6. So that's like what, 4 months ish? Something like that.
And it's already quite long, isn't it? I mean, I don't know about you. So as I say, I still enjoy Alduar, but my patience is definitely starting to wear a bit thinner the place.
I mean, I never imagined that I'd be doing Lore Master, but that's what I'm doing in my spare time in game because I have nothing else to do. It's like I've leveled up all these alts. Like achievements is all I have left to play in the game.
I think we said the same thing last week as you. I said, hey, listen, Ulduar is still fun. Like, I'm still having a good time, but I'm also like done. Like, I've downed every boss. I understand the mechanics. It's not exciting anymore. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's pretty good. And I'm ready for something new. The sad part is the thing that's something new is TOGC, which is like, I mean, we've been practicing on private servers. It's not the most exciting raid. And that sucks because then we could have leaned on Ulduar, but everyone's kind of burned out on Ulduar. So I don't know. 3 months of TOGC feels like a long time.
So you wouldn't even want it 3?
That's the thing. I think it's the shortest you can do a season for PvP, and you kind of have to match these up.
You could do maybe 2.5, 10 weeks.
I think Scotty J, he did this YouTube video a couple of years ago talking about TBC, and he actually broke it up and said the shortest they've ever had a season, I think, was 11 weeks. Is that right?
So
They've just put a massive post out, by the way, about PTR for Phase 3.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Can you put it in the? Oh, is it
Yeah.
Call of the Crusade PTR discussion? Okay.
Where? Ooh.
Wowhead.
I see it. Welcome to the Call of the Crusade Okay, who's reading it?
I don't think
Because I know we can watch Scotty J do the video later, but
it's just a forum that's been opened. But yeah, there's no information on it. No, it's just a PTR discussion forum. There's no official dates. Basically that testing is going to start soon, but there's nothing on here that needs to be discussed. It's a shame. He's going to be interesting.
No, the worst part is everyone's going to make a video about this because this is the biggest news, and that's the saddest part. Like, oh, this means, like, why don't they just say something so we can
be right back, going to make a video.
I know. Every time we get something like this, that's what people say. Oh, this means PTR is coming soon.
The Sarth video. Guys, PTR confirmed in a blue post. Man, that's such a downer.
It'll be soon, but it's a blizzard soon, so we'll see.
Yeah, so who knows?
The fact that they need a discussion forum for it, there could be some interesting changes coming.
Wait, don't post in all capital letters. Excessive punctuation. What is that? That's all the posts are going to be. People are going to be trolling, just putting post in all caps.
I think it's okay. You think it's a good thing because they're looking for feedback. I think it's a bad thing because what they're saying is they haven't put enough thought into this, and they're just now opening this up to the forums to be like, hey, what do you guys think? And that means more time on the PTR, because if they're going to change anything, it takes time. And if they're just now looking into like, hey, what do you guys think of this thing we're going to try? That makes me think 4 more weeks of winter/Old War.
Oh, easy.
Which sucks.
I'm expecting at least 4 more weeks.
Jeez. I mean, I don't have Dreambinder, so whatever. Let's do it. But as soon as I get Dreambinder, I'm just gonna be a ghost.
As soon as I get Valnir.
PTR is going to open this week now, though. I'd say, yeah, probably Friday. I would guess.
Friday. Am I busy this weekend? Because if I'm busy, then they're for sure going to drop it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, PTR's coming then. As long as everybody's busy and has plans.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Well, I guess that's good news that we heard something. It just sucks that the news
is nothing.
The PTR might be coming. Yeah, I mean, like, if you can... I cannot wait to watch your video where you try to extrapolate something from this blue post.
I won't be doing a video on that. The video would literally be PTR is coming. Like that. That's all this says is that the PTR is coming.
That's so funny. I want to read comments. Are there any comments yet? Or
one.
Can you not comment?
One.
Finally.
It's Scotty's.
It's me. Yeah, it's me saying we're back making a video.
Check out my video, Scotty J.
Oh man.
Where I break down all the most important things you're gonna learn from this blue post. Yeah, man. Anyway, yeah, I'm not excited about. I want to be excited about Wrath, and Blizzard's doing a really good job of preventing that. Like, especially ICC. If they screw up ICC.
Oof, it's not gonna be a good look.
Man, I worked so hard to kill the Lich King the first time. Like, I just want it to be as rewarding. Maybe that's me putting too much weight on Blizzard, though. I don't know.
We are going to get a PTR, but it's going to be for the hardcore server that's going to come out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you don't even know if this is Wrath related, Scotty. This could be the PTR for Psalm 2.
No, it specifically says Call of the Crusade. Maybe I should do a video so you understand it.
Okay, someone in my guild mentioned this thing, and I talked to Go about it. I looked it up. It was a fan made creation, and one of the things they said is for Psalm 2, they're gonna do a 20-man Scarlet Monastery, leveled up to level 60. And I was like, you know what? That'd actually be pretty cool. Like, if that's what they're working on in the background, awesome. I have about 95% confidence that is not what they're doing in the background. Psalm
No.
2 is gonna have some stupid new mechanic that people are gonna be like, oh, it's cool, whatever. That'll be the end of it.
But yeah, yeah, working on some new classic content would be cool. But then, why would they put the effort there when they can do new content for retail? You know, that's always been the argument, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the place to go and get new content. I mean, classic's already not what it was originally meant to be, anyway, is it? You know, it was meant to be reliving the game how it was for the people that didn't get to play it back then or want to play it for nostalgic reasons. And it's already nothing compared to what it was.
When do you think the moment of divergence happened? Like, I know classic WoW was pretty close. TBC, you started to feel a couple of changes. Like, when was the moment where you're like, okay, they're just over it. They're gonna do their own thing.
I think they've gone bonkers in Wrath, haven't they? With
Yeah.
Wrath is completely gone a different direction to what I expected.
If you go by hashtags, it's no changes to some changes to changes. Like, just changes. Like, just whatever they feel like. Which, for some cases, I could see it being really beneficial. But, I don't know.
But again, it's possibly, you know, that they are trying to they're showing that they will make changes to try and make it better and, you know, keep things relevant, ready for, the inevitable kata where they have to make a lot of changes, which they don't really.
I don't know. Do you think they'd be better off just doing the private server model, just rolling out these one-offs?
Yeah and no. I mean, yeah, I've said all along that I think, you know, they've like TBC, you know, people enjoy TBC. There's people that still play TBC private servers. I don't know why they can't have multiple versions of the games going, you know, as in why there isn't a TBC server that you can go and play on, you know, even if all the content was unlocked, like whatever, you know, there is classic era, you know, when it goes on to kata, there should be Wrath, and they should just cycle, you know, yearly, maybe spread out so they don't all reset at the same time. But, you know, say you have Wrath goes back to, you know, season, it will go Wrath season 2, you know, and during that time while Wrath season 2's out, you know, TBC might be in its final phase or whatever, you know, so they're staggered releases.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd play on multiple. You know, when it went to kata, I'd go on to kata, but then I'd also play Wrath. I'd do a Wrath character, seasonal character.
I wonder if with like the classic, what do they call it? What is the season of mastery, whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Are they trying to be like clever by half? Like, should they just be putting out TBC private server, like one private server, and just see and like, hey, if you don't want to play this, fine, but it's there. Like, or same thing with like season of mastery. Like, okay, they have a season of mastery. Shouldn't they already have one up and running? Because it's just a matter of them like spinning up the servers again. Like, what's the hesitation here? Like, what are they trying to just like come up with these new versions of classic? Which I'm not against, but I'm saying like, why don't they, while they're doing that, bring up a, you know, TBC classic standalone, you know, classic vanilla standalone, and then even Wrath classic standalone has zero changes. You know, RDF's in there. It doesn't have the feral boost or the ret boost. Like, why aren't they just doing that? Like, what's stopping them from just rolling those up?
I don't know, yeah, because people are playing it. As I say, if they launched a TBC server today, people would play it. You know, just need one EU, one NA. It just gives people the option, and there will be people that when TBC finished, they quit, and you know, just play TBC private servers, and there'll be people when Wrath finishes that will stop paying Blizzard and go and play Wrath servers because that's what they want to play. They want to play Wrath. So yeah, they should have seasonal realms. I don't know why it doesn't exist already.
Yeah, I mean, like Season of Mastery, they did, but it felt like it took way more effort than it should have. Like, they already have done this. They just should flip a switch and do it again. I don't know. I know they did some changes to Season of Mastery, but I'm saying like, I think even if they didn't, they'd still have people interested, and I don't understand why they're being so specific or constricted on like how many servers there are. Like, yeah, we've got the Wrath servers, we've got the Season of Mastery servers. Why don't they just, you know what I mean? Have like 6 different versions of the game, and people can play whatever they want to play.
Yeah, and a lot of
Yeah.
people would play too, wouldn't they? It's
Yeah.
like I say, yeah, I'd play Cat or Amrath, but I'm not interested in vanilla, and I'm not really that interested in TBC. But if there was a fresh TBC server that came out, I'd probably play it for a month or so, just for a change of pace.
I thought about
Yeah.
leveling a tune on Classic Era, like an actual raiding tune again. But I'm just like, if I get bored of doing achievements in Wrath, then like that, I think that's what I would do. If there was a TBC SOM server though, like, pretty uninterested in that unless it was heavily changed.
So
Yeah.
what about, man, you kind of touched on something we were talking about earlier. So hardcore is thriving right now. And if you don't follow, who was it that posted it? I didn't actually read the name.
On
it
the
Grace
server.
for Days?
Yeah.
Grace for Days says that, is it the Grace for Days post that I was reading? I know, I'm not even sure. Regardless, they said that it was Blizzard backed. Is that real? Is Blizzard really backing these hardcore servers? And if so, why isn't Blizzard just doing it, like doing the work?
Well, I think they are. Yeah, but I believe they are going to be launching hardcore servers, and yeah, when it is it Mike Ybarra or something put a Twitter message out about, oh, should we put hardcore realms in? I think they'll do hardcore for retail as well. I don't think it will just be a classic thing. I think that'll be something that they just put in across the board. Maybe eventually, it might just be classic to begin with, but I could see that going in across the board. And again, why not? People who want to, it's just more option. It's more people that you're catering towards. Yeah, I think hardcore realms are a good thing. Would I play on them? If I was really bored, I'd give it a go. If there was changes to it, I'd probably be more inclined. But like I say, I'm just not that much of a fan of vanilla.
They
go ahead.
the new I'm trying to see what the new lead software engineer, which is what Brian sorry about his last name. He left
Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham. That was his position before he left. And they, like, looking at their Twitter, they're posting all this stuff about like hardcore. They're leveling up a tune, they're playing in the tournaments, they're running dungeons hardcore. So yeah, like the lead engineer is definitely into the hardcore.
I guess there was a Reddit post of somebody that was ganking hardcore players getting yelled at by a GM, and they're like, "Am I doing something against terms of service?" And they're like, "You're disrupting gameplay." And he's like, "It's PvP realm. Why can't I kill people?" And it brought a good question. It's like, I've been through that. Like, I've gone through the whole trolling on a hardcore, and it is annoying. But why doesn't Blizzard just fix it? Like, make hardcore a thing, and that way you don't have to because that is a huge issue. Is like you get these high levels just crushing these like level 12s and stuff. I don't know, because one life and all. I wouldn't play on a PvP realm. Maybe they're killing the tunes. I don't know. Either way.
Yeah, as I say, I played hardcore last year. I enjoyed it. It's good. I think it's really good streaming content. But like outside of that, I don't particularly enjoy leveling. I just like raiding. I like end game.
It's like the whole game.
The journey is exactly. When leveling is the whole game, I get bored really, really quick.
Yeah, and you can't get anything especially because I think it might be harder for you because you have this wealth of knowledge of how to get like these things that in hardcore you just can't get access to because of the rules and restrictions. Like, oh, if you can farm this and do this, that you can't because you might die and no one wants to risk it. And there's all kinds of like weird. Yeah,
it's definitely a different game.
I mean, we were talking about table and how we were speed leveling. He knows all these like shortcuts on like where you can log out skips, and like you don't need that in a regular game because it's just.
Oh, I do. I do log out skip a lot.
Oh, is it part of Rested XP?
Yeah, it's part of Rested XP as well. Yeah, there's I log out skip even when I go to like if I was going Scarlet Monastery, I'll take the mage portal and then log out, skip to get outside. There's loads of places where you can, utilize it. Storm Peaks is another one. There's between 70 and 80, there's loads of really good log out skips.
That's nuts. Yeah, I've never even until hardcore. I didn't even know that was a thing. Legitimately, did not know. And then, but it's highly used in the hardcore speed runs because you have to get in front of everybody as fast as possible, or you're stuck going against like 30 other people for the exact same item.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find this forum and I can't find it. I don't really do forums, but I don't even see it. I went to their classic WoW thing, usforums.blizzard.com, but I don't see their post to comment on. Because it's got to be different than, it's not just the WoW head like article
they created
to
that,
post,
and then they closed it. Yeah, they created it and then they closed it so people couldn't comment on it yet.
Oh, but you can actually see it because I don't even see like a forum.
Yeah,
Right.
like I can see the blue post.
Oh, the blue post.
I can send you the link.
Yeah, but
Welcome. Please read this.
But I don't see like the actual thing that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
In the forums. Yeah.
No. If you look at the bottom, it says closed 55 minutes ago and then pinned 55 minutes ago. So they posted that and then they closed it so nobody could comment.
But they closed the blue post.
Oh no, I found the forum here. Look, it's there. I'll put it in Discord.
Is that the same? What is that?
There's no posts other than the welcome
There are no
post.
more.
But
Yeah. It's just empty. Anyway, but yeah.
Closed an hour ago.
Are all our screens gray on purpose?
Yeah. Yeah, because.
Okay.
Sorry. I was clicking on all these links, and yeah, you guys disappeared. I guess I disappeared too.
Yeah.
Dang,
I don't know.
so
it sucks that that it's. I try to be optimistic, and I've stopped being.
You've started stopping.
Yeah, like it's. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but they've had 2 expansions, and they just keep slipping down and getting worse. They're just like lazier and lazier. Where's Holly?
Good question.
Isn't she our representative?
I haven't looked at her Twitter in a while. I don't do Twitter, but
I don't either.
Is she not lead Arclight Rumble or something like that? I'm sure she went and done something else.
Oh, did she really? Man, I can't even keep up.
Or it was that, or it might have even been something to do with retail. I'm sure she's nothing to do with Classic anymore, but I could be wrong.
Vice president and executive producer for World of Warcraft. So yeah, it's not tagged with not tagged for Classic promoted, at all.
But wasn't she brought over specifically for Classic?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Sorry.
She saw it was a sinking ship and was like, I need to find a different job.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've touched on everything. Any other last stuff takes, Scotty, from anything we've talked about today?
No, mate. No.
Feeling good?
Thanks for inviting me on.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely remembered and knew I was going to be here on time.
So, Holly Longdale left, and the person that was put in charge is Brian Birmingham, who was fired a couple months ago. So there's nobody in charge of WoW Classic right now.
It doesn't show.
Yeah, did they know all this ahead of time, and that's why they said, yeah, we're gonna let Oldwar breathe and be a long phase while rehire more people. All right, cool.
That's so funny. Thanks for coming, Scotty.
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
We've got a little bit more to talk about after you head out of here, but yeah, thanks, dude. Thanks for hanging out.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of it, and I'll catch you later.
I'll see you in the 10-man tomorrow.
Yes, you will.
All right, see ya.
In a bit.
All right, now that that's broken, let's see if this just automatically goes. No, it doesn't. Damn. Oop, I clicked on you.
So I just want to clarify. Table. Brian Birmingham refused to give employees low evaluations, so they fired him. So it was kind of like a protest test firing though. Like he could have just done it, and they would have kept him. But he was like, no, I refuse, and they fired him. So you could see it as a quitting or a firing. I don't know. Forced out is the phrase that Bellular used.
Forced
Bellular?
out. Yeah. I used to watch some of like his stuff, but then it was all
when I played retail, I watched Bellular.
Yeah. That's pretty cool stuff. All right.
And then there was Taliesin and
I don't know that one.
It's the couple. They have a kid now. I don't know. Tally. They always do like an opening skit.
I believe you.
He's British.
No.
And he always works it into like, oh, and everything went really well. No, I can't remember his expressions, man.
I mean, everybody's British.
No, but he's British because he refused to give negative. Yeah. I actually worked for a company that had that same policy. It's the dumbest thing.
Oh yeah. It sounded pretty dumb. Yeah.
It is. My boss, he had the same thing, and he said, "Here's the thing: they won't allow me to give anybody a perfect score. So nobody gets it." And I was like, "Well, that's dumb. That's dumb."
All right, so we had some other. I mean, so we've been talking about loads of news today, and there's even more. But this is from the previous week, not just from today and stuff that I had created for us to talk about. But we've had Titan Rune Dungeons. What do you think about Titan Rune Dungeons? Like the second iteration of them, the Titan Rune beta or whatever it's called, like Defense Protocol beta. There we go.
I think it is the ship has sailed, kind of. That's a bad way to say that. We have started down this path, and I don't think they have a choice but to continue doing these because they've set it up to do this. And I don't know if even they think it's like a good idea to keep making the alpha, then the beta, then the. As far as catching up, it honestly didn't help me that much. I thought it was going to be this huge gear catch-up thing. By the time people would bring me into the H pluses, I was already over geared. So I imagine the H plus is going to have that same issue where you're like, oh, I can finally get. Oh, this is only 232 gear. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. End of TOGC PTR? No way. Did you hear that?
May 22nd. That's still what,
let me see.
3 weeks away.
Get Scotty J back on here.
Oh man, there's a
chart.
There's making a video.
Put it on the screen.
He is making a video.
Oh
Where's the chart? Send me the chart. I can't do all this stuff.
It's the same link, Scotty. Just click the link that Scotty sent you.
I don't see it.
It says, "Oh my god, how are you bad at this,
dude?" I don't do news store. Oh, Wrath testing schedule. Here we go.
Wrath of Lich King classic patch.
I mean, he could always hop back in and crash the pod if he wants to.
May 4th. Oh my god.
May the 4th be with you? Oh, he's got to come back for May the 4th.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, tomorrow's May the 4th. Is that it? That is it. I got to redo the cameras again. I don't know what causes that, man. I'm so bad with cameras.
I hate everything.
It doesn't make sense. I barely move it on one screen and then it's like, oh, it's jacked up. All right. I've got it.
I sent it to you 2 minutes ago.
I'm working on it. Cameras, dude. Cameras. That's the important part. It's cameras, dude.
The cameras are less important.
It's up there. It's up there.
Already set up.
They were.
Okay, anyway.
They were. Scotty joined. He left. It screwed it all up again.
May 4th is tomorrow.
That's in less than 24 hours.
What's today? Wednesday? Oh my god. The Trial of the Crusader raid is May 5th until May 8th. That's this weekend. Oh my god, this sucks so bad. Isle of Conquest. Brawl with the Blues?
You play with the devs.
Isle of Conquest is the new PvP one. Yeah. May 11th is for 2 hours.
Wait, for Isle? Sorry, I'm still trying to fix your camera.
To be up.
Huh?
Titan Dungeons, May 12th. 4.
There we go.
Titan Rune Dungeons, there's just May 12th to NA, which means they're probably going to keep them up until they fix them. And then Trial of the Crusader Raid Round 2 is May 19th to May 22nd. I'm also out of town that weekend, too. Oh, that's my birthday weekend.
Oh.
So yeah, guys, the PTR, which means
you heard it here live first.
It's likely that the game will go live a week after that, so end of May, a week or two after, end of May, TOGC will be going live.
Yeah, as long as there's nothing crazy going on. Wait.
Yeah.
There's no Onyxia testing? We don't need to test Onyxia.
You know what? Comment. Go ahead and comment.
Where's my Onyxia testing?
Guys, you missed a pretty, yeah. How much was to test Oni?
Yeah, that's my favorite raid of Phase 3. What do you mean I can't test it?
That's all I've been here for. But yeah, that's pretty cool. At least they came out with it. Trail Champs. You have to change the title of this to PTR officially announced.
Oh no.
Do it right now. That's you got it. Well, the iron is hot.
Well, the iron's hot.
If you're already overgeared for H+, it's not a design flaw. It's the players not letting you into groups. Oh, Table, you're commenting on what I said earlier. Yeah, I 100% agree, but the problem is that's the mentality. If you're not overgeared for it, you're undergeared for it. There's no geared for it. Because I remember I was asking people, I think I was at like 3,800, and I was like, I want to do H+, and they're like, oh, yeah, you're good for that. And I signed up and couldn't get anyone to take me. And then once I hit 4,000, which is kind of above the 213 threshold, I couldn't get, or I didn't need anything. There was an item that dropped that I was like, oh, cool. It was just, delete.
I'm just reading through the post. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Read it out loud.
Read it out loud.
That's really healthy on a pod. We're on a stream and you're like quietly reading.
Oh, you were still going. Sorry. Well, we hope to have the PTR up and playable sometime in the early afternoon of tomorrow, and we will post a full list of update notes with specific areas of focus for this week's testing as soon as the PTR goes live. We plan to post weekly updates to these notes as more content comes online to test, and the testing focus changes week to week. And before we leave you, we want to acknowledge that in previous PTR releases, we expressed that we had hoped to be able to publish testing schedules, particularly raid testing schedules, as far ahead of time as possible. Unfortunately, we had to make a last-minute change to the testing schedule for 3.4.2 that forced us to move the timeline for raid testing forward from a later date to this coming weekend. We will be having a second round of raid testing per the schedule above, so if you can't make it this weekend, you will have at least one other opportunity to hop in and test Trial of the Crusader. Apologies for any inconvenience this might cause. Thanks to everyone for their understanding and patience as we are putting the finishing touches in place to get 3.4.2 up and testable. Do you think it'll actually...
They were going to do it later? Did I read that right?
It was worded kind of weird.
Raid testing is as far ahead as possible. Unfortunately, we had to make a last-minute change to the testing schedule for 3.4.2 that forced us to move the timeline for raid testing forward from a later date to this coming weekend.
Yeah, like forward, I mean, like I'm guessing means later. Not.
Yeah, I get again like in the past.
Yeah.
But then that would clash with the concept of them giving us as much notice as possible, because what they're saying is we wanted to give you a ton of notice, and we were gonna release it in a couple weeks, but something came up and we had to release it right away.
Maybe it's because they're planning that hardcore server launch like in 2 weeks, so they're like, we got to get the PTR up now.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's definitely interesting. I mean, I don't know. I don't trust this. So that's cool. So I'm gonna be gone most of this weekend. Man, I might be able to get home before. I don't know. I'm gonna see when my guild actually wants it, because they want a PTR. They want a PTR bad.
Yeah.
And I definitely won't be here the 19th weekend because I'll be going to Cedar Point. If you guys don't know what Cedar Point is, get to the point.
It's an amusement park.
It is. It is an amusement park.
I know.
So yeah.
So that's all we had to do.
So
We had to complain for 2 hours that we haven't gotten any news.
I was literally thinking, like, do you think Blizzard was like watching us and like, just post a blue post,
like,
just
bro, come on,
do it. I mean, Scotty J's there. Oh, this is embarrassing. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome news, guys.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm excited. Are you gonna make a video about it?
No.
No.
I might do a poll about it, but I'm not gonna do a video.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to get a couple runs in on the PTR, and then I'm good. I don't care. I shouldn't say that. It's inappropriate. I'm not too worried about Heroic Plus Plus or whatever they're gonna call it. Did they call it anything specifically? Titan Rune Dungeons. Okay.
Titan Rune, like the Defense Protocol beta.
I'm not too concerned about that. Not that I don't want to utilize it. I just, I don't know. I actually had a good time on the PTR last time doing it. I think you were with me, right? You and I did it together.
Yeah.
And that was fun. I'm more interested in what gear is going to be in those. Like where, and hopefully the notes tomorrow will tell us more, and I won't need to.
Yeah, the only one
PTR tomorrow, guys. Did you change the title to PTR tomorrow?
I did not.
Bro.
Because then I have to change it back. I will.
No, just leave it. PTR May 5th.
But it doesn't start until like 2.5 hours into the show.
Who cares? People can watch it.
PTR tomorrow.
Whichever one Nebula Band drops from is very important. But that's what I mean, Conan. Like, if you find out there's certain ones have like, is it going to be game changing? And can they make it? And this is the most negative thing against myself. I wish they would make it so you do not get the bag from the final boss unless you kill all the subsequent bosses before.
Oh, yeah.
So that people stop doing skipping. And now I'm not against skipping. I'm actually a big fan of it. However, a lot of people are doing Heroic Plus to get gear.
Yeah.
And by being forced to do skip runs all the time, they're missing out on loot that could possibly help them. So I definitely think it'd be helpful if they kind of forced it so you don't get the 3 extra bags. Not just by killing the final boss, but by killing every boss to the final boss. Including that one boss in Old Kingdom that nobody ever goes and sees anymore.
I mean, there's a couple of those bosses, like the one in Drakthar on Keep. Yeah.
No, in DTK you can skip every single boss. In Old Kingdom you can skip all but one. Yeah, and like it'd be great if they were forced to kill those bosses.
But how many people are actually gonna test the Titan Rune Dungeons, like the new one? We tested it. Yeah, but we tested the first one, so now they're just upping the damage that they're doing and the health that they're doing.
That's not necessarily true. We don't know that.
Yeah,
but it's likely based on the data mining.
Oh yeah, based on the data mining. Yeah.
However, if you look at the PTR notes, the raids are only up on the weekends of the 5th to the 8th. And the 19th to the 22nd, which means if people are trying to do some fun stuff on the PTR, from the 12th until the 19th, there's nothing else to do on the PTR except for Titan Rune Dungeons. So people will still like get on the PTR and try them out. So I think there is going to be testing, and I think that's exactly why they don't overlap them, to force people to try the other parts of it.
Yeah, but I mean, for the Titan Rune testing that we had before, there was like limited gear that you could use. There was template characters.
Oh, yeah.
So if they bring that back up, if that's all we get from May the 12th to the 18th or whatever, then like
no.
The only one I would do is talk.
I know why.
Yeah.
I know why they do that, but it's also a poor representation of what your experience is going to be. So why not just let us have the experience and see like, okay, this is still too easy.
Yeah.
Because it was hard when you had garbage gear. And that's the target audience is people with garbage gear.
I don't know if I would test all the other ones, but I would test the new dungeon, and that's probably it.
Oh, the Child Crusader?
Yeah.
Child of the Champion?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fast. There's no trash. It's just a room. And it's faster than Violet Hold. Yeah.
Faster than Violet Hole, that's good. Because Violet Hole
It's
can
very fast.
drag on, it feels like.
It's literally boss. Hold on, make sure I get this right. Okay, so technically there's a trash thing. The jousting is considered trash. So you do the trash, then you fight the 3 dudes, then you fight them on the ground. That's the first boss. Second boss is just 1 person, and third boss is 1 person. Yeah, I think that's all of them. But the second boss can change, and the whatever boss you get also determines the loot that drops.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Another one of those.
And there's cool like weird things like he throws a hammer at you, and if you can pick up the hammer and throw it back at him, you get an achievement.
Oh.
So it's kind of cool if you get that boss. I don't know.
Achievements, yay!
Yeah. Anyway, anything else? Anything else on this that you find interesting?
On this, I'm still trying to like
Process?
Yeah, make sense of it all. Trial of the Grand Crusader raid round 1. Fight. I mean, it's nice that we at least know that there's going to be 2 rounds, because usually it's like it just randomly pops up and then it's like, okay, well, when is it going to go down? And then it goes down randomly.
I'm more excited to see. They mention. Let me find it. So I'm quoting it. And we will post a full list of update notes with specific areas of focus for this week's testing as soon as the PTR goes live. I think that's going to be the most interesting, is reading those notes. Because here's the thing that we could expect in there. Yeah, it's going to explain the Titan rune. It might also have a munching thing in there, like a munching fix. It might have a feral fix in there. So us ferals have to hop on the PTR and start testing. It's going to have TOGC. It might even express how the gear is going to work for TOGC, since we don't fully understand. It might explain how the toggle is going to work. Is it going to work like ICC? Is it going to have a different effect for the heroic versus non-heroic versions of 25? There is so much that I'm hoping is in the patch notes that are coming tomorrow, that if it's like literally just like TOGC, I'm going to be so bummed.
I wonder if we're actually going to get a thing before like tomorrow, or is it just going to come out like at 11 a.m. PDT on the 5th, on Friday,
which is what, 2:00 Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah, that's a weird time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they usually dropped it at like 3 like 6 Eastern. I thought 3 Pacific. I thought that's when they usually dropped it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Here's what's weird. I mean, not weird, but here's what's interesting. The PTR goes live on the 4th. The raid doesn't open until the 5th. And there's no Titan Rune Dungeons until the 12th. So from the 4th until the 5th, what is that?
You get to copy your character over. You get to have all your add-ons, your UI set up.
So it's literally just prep for getting you into the raid. Like, it only takes me 20 minutes to copy a character max.
Or they might have like the character templates, like the 80 templates.
Well, I'm wondering
test a different
because
class
of the munching. They're like, test the munching out on the dummies.
Oh no. I think it's gonna be just so you can create your characters, get everything ready, so you don't have to like log in and stress because the raid's open, people are looking for groups, and your add-on's broken, your UI's busted. Like that should give the add-on people like time to make sure that there's no Lua errors or whatever crashing their LVUI or nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like having an extra day to get everything set up. Because I'd usually be sat at work, like, waiting for it to go live to, like, set up my tune before I got home to try to, like, hop in a raid. So now I don't have to worry about that as much.
I got my first algorithm.
Babe.
I just think it's... What?
What? The lady got her first Algalon kill.
Correct.
25?
Yeah,
25 or 10?
25.
Oh, nice. Congrats, baby.
We did it with 24 people.
Was it 25 or 10?
25. Well, it was 24.
Yeah.
Somebody DC'd.
Oh, okay. Congrats.
I feel like you're joking.
I'm not joking. Good job.
The
I really
bald
recommend
guy.
you moving that cabinet over.
I'll move it.
Because your camera looks weird.
Did you-
have it tilted really
Did you
far,
tell
'cause you're,
her
like,
the
all the way
PTR
over
comes
the
out tomorrow?
center.
Oh, PTR comes out tomorrow. I'm talking about it live right now. She's like, I don't care. She doesn't really
Oh, and
PTR.
table says grats,
I'm
by
not
the way.
sweaty like
Tell
you guys.
tell her table says grats.
Table Slam says grats.
That's my shirt.
I said grats too, but I'm not gonna.
Grif said grats.
Thanks. I feel like it means more coming from.
Just in time too. Honestly, like imagine. Ask
Yeah,
her this.
Well, she's
Say,
gone.
If
She's
they
gone.
nerfed it. Oh, I was gonna say if they nerfed it and then she got it, would she even care?
She's not part of the show, gosh darn. Her
You know what? That's another thing. What if 3.4.2 PTR goes live tomorrow and it's got nerfs on it for Ulduar?
dude, we're gonna be searching through there. We need like a nerf testing team.
No, the patch notes should cover all this.
If we get patch notes tomorrow.
It says we're getting patch notes.
Like, is the teleporter gonna be active? That we can skip
Teleporter?
bosses in Ulduar, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So you don't have to have people go in
good
and
question.
pre-clear the Flame Leviathan trash and then cause a wipe before the raid even starts.
Oh. Okay. So throughout our journey of Ulduar, I've said that I didn't really care about Leviathan, and then I liked it, and now I'm back to hating it.
True.
It is a burden
Facts.
in the way of like you're like, come on, like you don't care, you know, like the parse doesn't matter, the mechanics don't really matter. Like, I mean, you probably enjoy it more than most because you get shot up there, but like for the most of us, it's just like, well, whatever.
Even that is kind of like, meh. I'm over getting shot up there. Oh, so back from the breaking news. What else do we have?
I think that we're actually wrapping up anyway, but
Wrap it
if
up?
you've got more, go ahead.
We can wrap up. Oh, the holy hand grenade. So like we heard that Onyxia was coming, but we're also going to be able to still do the level 60 version. People were saying, are we going to get the level 60 Nax back as well? That'd be kind of cool.
That would be.
There's Children's Week. I'm not really doing any Children's Week events. Are you doing any of those quest achievements? Pet things?
No, I don't know why, but like the Children's Week creeps me out. Like I can't do the quests. Like they give me a whistle to summon a child. It just everything about it feels very uncomfortable to me. And I literally picked up the quest and I was like, no, I won't do this.
Free transfers. I have a free transfer available off of Azure Song, and it has less than 100 people. It was a bunch of servers I didn't even really know of that had like no population, I don't think either. So I'm like, my tune will just stay on Azure Song. But I guess EU's having some transfers since Scotty left. Scotty's server, Thekel, had like 2K according to Ironforge Pro or whatever, and they were able to transfer to a server that had 10K pop. So that sounds reasonable.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's bigger than my server.
Did you want to touch on the feral ranking? You had said something earlier today about ferals are kind of settling in.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man, I'm kind of sliding this in last minute. But honestly, I think it's worth being discussed. Let me get the link for it really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Copy. Hold on. There we go. 1 second. I'm just copying a link. Okay. Yeah. So there's two things. The number one thing is, if you guys haven't checked the DPS rankings, ferals are pretty solid around number 5, depending on which chart you look at, which is really good. Because I think we were 7 a couple weeks ago, so we're slightly moved up, but I do think we've plateaued as far as keeping to moving up. So we're about 5 or 6, depending on what what average you look at and stuff like that. However, there's another thing, and I'll post this in chat. If you are a feral that is annoyed with the feral fairy fire proc when you want to press it, but you already have a proc up, or you don't want to use it for anything else, there is a new weak aura that prevents you from doing the wrong thing, essentially forcing you to use your procs correctly or helping you do that. I have not fully tested this, so I'm kind of putting this out in the ether, hopefully to get a lot more feedback for it. But there is essentially a weak aura. It is not perfect. It does have flaws. Comment to the creator. but definitely check it out if you want to try to maybe maximize your DPS just a little bit more. Because what it does is hold on, I'm going to read it. Will block the user from pressing bike, rake, or fairy fire if clear cast is active. So essentially, it'll only allow you to use shred, and I think rip is also an option for feral fairy for omen and clarity proc. If you guys don't know why this is important, your melee damage can proc clear casting, and right as you're about to hit feral fairy fire, you'll get a proc, which you've now wasted because you cast feral fairy fire, which then procs it again. So this will prevent it and force you to use those procs on shred as God intended. That's it. And it's a big deal. It's a minor DPS increase, but it's a frustration saver.
And ferals love any minor DPS increase that they can get their little paws on. So
yeah,
makes sense.
I mean, it's not gonna. It's probably not a game changer, and if you never get this weak aura, you'll be fine. But if you get the weak aura, you might get a slight bump in your DPS. I don't know.
Was it
Check
over?
it and I'll link it in here too.
Was it overall
put it in the
stats
chat,
that you liked? Yeah. Is that what you like to look at? Overall stats, not
so of these two charts, so there's two other charts, but these are the two charts that you have on the screen, so I'll comment. I'm looking at the line. I like the 95th percentile ones. Those are like the other two. And it's either damage or damage to boss, and I actually prefer damage over damage to boss because damage is like a realistic activity of a fight, whereas damage to boss is just damage to the boss. And ferals tend to shine a little bit better on certain fights because we tend to be single target focused anyway. So yeah, like if you look at like the other one, but if you look at the line chart, we actually are pretty close to the top. And you were all over the place. Every time I look up, it's getting moved around. As far as Table Slam, I want to comment on his Uyghur Table. I am hesitant to use this in raid, mainly because I feel like it's borderline terms of service. Because you're using a weak word to prevent something. Yeah, so I'm a little hesitant to use it, but apparently it's fine because it follows it allows you to work around it. But there are some bugs in it, I guess. Like if you have certain things clicked or bound incorrectly, it won't work. But yeah, we'll see. Yes, this is the chart I like. I just now see it on the screen. We're number 6 on this one, and I think that's right where we're gonna end up being by the end of it. I think Combat Rogues might surpass us. But that's about it. Yeah,
cool.
That's what I want to talk about.
Cool.
I was gonna make a whole video about that weak aura, but like Table said, I don't really want to over promote it. I just kind of want to throw it in at the end of this, hey, check this out. But yeah, don't blame me if you hate it.
I won't use it.
It's also linked in my Discord if you don't have the chat in front of you.
And then we touched on the hardcore server stuff a little bit earlier, so yeah, I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
Which means so long, farewell. I'll talk to you next week.
Yeah.
Oh. You lagged up there. You were doing good for a solid while. There you are. Good stuff.
Hey.
Good.
Is it? I actually don't know.
Oh.
Did you hit pause?
No. You're back. I think you're back.
I didn't go anywhere. I'm pretty sure it's you.
It's not me. Gosh darn. Maybe it is. It shouldn't be, but maybe.
Anyway, did you end the stream?
Oh, not yet. No, because you lagged there. I wanted to make sure you were here.
Yeah. Take care, all the good stuff.
Yeah. Episode 26, 27's next week with Grif over at youtube.com at Grifton. All the things are below his name there. YouTube, Twitch. He live streams to both. I don't. I do one at a time. I'm not that tech savvy. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Scotty was on earlier. If you just joined and you want to watch the VOD, go back to see our discussion with Scotty J. And until next week, see you later. I'll see you on Twitch. I'll probably only stream raids and stuff on Twitch until next Tuesday. I kind of switched over from only YouTube to Twitch chillin', YouTube main raid. So yeah, see ya. Adios. Good night. Good.